After 2 games on the road, Cotuit has finally returned home to Lowell Park. Welcome back into the broadcast booth. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by my broadcast partner, Joe Pratt. And Joe, it was what some would call a successful 2-game road stand for the Cats. 1-1. Saw the bats pop in game one of the 2-game stand with 2 home runs, but the bats really faltered last night. What are you looking forward to here in tonight's game?
Well, hopefully being able to return home and putting together some good pitching, mainly at the start of it being Anthony Ianson for Cotuit getting the start today. Of course, last time we were here, we had Cam Hill on the bump, and he ran us into some trouble early on against Harwich here on Saturday afternoon. And then after that, the Kettleers were, and that's pretty similar to what happened last night at Wareham. Kettleers fell behind early, and they were just unable to get back into the game and knot things up at an even score, especially in the second half of that ball game. But we saw 2 nights ago in Orleans, Alex, the bullpen pitch incredibly well. We saw the offense get ahead early, but then they kind of faltered as the game went on. So hopefully the Kettleers are going to be able to grab an early lead, hold off YD in the first few innings. Those first 3 innings, I think, are going to be the most important in this game today.
Cotuit coming into this contest with a 1-2 record. YD 2-1, but these are 2 offenses that have scored just 6 runs aside, so runs could be at a premium here today. And you mentioned the first 3 innings, those paramount for these 2 starting pitchers. Mention Anthony Ianson for the Cats, Sean Youngerman getting the ball for the Red Sox, and Youngerman's a guy who's making his first appearance today, but a guy who's really impressed at the D2 level.
Yeah, 3.71 ERA this past season at Westmont. Made 12 starts for them there, and over 70 innings. He struck out 69 batters to just 15 walks, and a guy who held batters to just a 236 average there at Westmont, who just recently made the switch from NAIA to Division II baseball, and he made a pretty seamless transition, did Youngerman, and so the Kettleers are definitely going to have to work counts against him. We see them sitting at the bottom of the league in walks, as mentioned in the pregame show, with 6, and of course YD with some walks in there as well, but they don't walk a lot of guys as pitchers, just 7 issued, and Cotuit has issued 15 walks, so that number is definitely going to have to be lowered if they want to stay in this ball game and not give too many free opportunities for these YD bats to take advantage of.
We can preview the lineups here today, getting the start and leading things off for YD, Phoenix Call. Following up him, Jonathan Kim, the DH Easton Carmichael will bat 3rd. Cade McGee at the hot corner hitting cleanup. Batting 5th, the dangerous Drew Burris. He's in left field. Batting 6th and in right field, Jake Brown. The shortstop, Wahiva Aloy. He bats 7th. Brady Neal is doing the catching duties. He will bat 8th, and rounding out the order is the first baseman, Cameron Kim. And Joe, now you take us through the Cotuit lineup.
Cotuit lineup, Max Ballou starting things off for the Kettleers, playing in center field, followed by A.J. Gracia, gets his 3rd straight start in right field. Devin Taylor, the DH, in the 3 spot, followed by Sean Keys batting cleanup, playing 3rd. Grant Jay gets the duties behind the plate today, catching and batting 5th. Brandon Compton out of Arizona State plays in left field and bats 6th. Chris Arroyo headed to Virginia this next season, playing at first base and batting 7th. P.J. Moutsouridis bats 8th and plays short, and his teammate Jaron Advincula out of Cal Berkeley plays 2nd and bats 9th. On the mound today for the Kettleers, it's going to be Anthony Ianson out of UC San Diego.
And definitely curious to see Chris Arroyo. We saw him play in the 2 scrimmages against Lexington and Martha's Vineyard. He put together a couple of really quality at-bats, making his Kettleers debut today, playing first base like you mentioned. And this is a lineup filled with a lot of left-handed batters, but they're facing a righty in Sean Youngerman, and attacking Youngerman early could be the key in this game. And we talked about that on the pregame. What are some expanded keys on that?
Yeah, I think we saw the Kettleers be a bit more passive at the plate yesterday. They saw Braden Sloan out of TCU. He threw 7 strikeouts, 5 innings pitched, and really just shut things down for the Kettleers from innings 1 until 5 until he was out of the game. And he was, of course, a left-handed thrower, Alex, and a guy who you brought up in the broadcast yesterday had greatly improved on his strikeout numbers from his freshman year to sophomore campaigns this past season at TCU. And we definitely saw that improvement last night when he struck out 7 Kettleers batters and went on an absolute tear, especially at the end of his outing where he recorded 7 straight outs after the Kettleers picked up their first run of the ball game in the 4th inning. 3rd inning it was last night, and that was the only run that the Cats were able to score until the 9th.
And we really saw the offense pick up late for the Kets. 3 hits through the first 8 innings, 3 in that last inning. They loaded the bases, but just couldn't come through in that final spot. It was Jaron Advincula. He got pinch hit for in the middle of his at-bat by Brandon Compton. Compton struck out, and then P.J. Mutsaritas grounded out to second to end the game. So if the Kets could employ that same strategy that they had, work the count and get guys on base, maybe we could see more offensive production from their lineup.
Yeah, that's right, and I think you like the approach that they brought to the plate last night in the top of the 9th inning. Not trying to do too much, just trying to make contact and wait for the pitches that they want to see. And we saw Tanner Thatch get on board with his first base knock of the season. He also reached second and represented the tying run with a hit by pitch at the end of yesterday's game. But for the Kettleers, you just want them to be able to string some hits together, be able to produce when runners are in scoring position, because they clearly weren't able to do that last night. But it's also going to be a matter of just getting guys there in the first place. And you mentioned earlier on, Alex, that these two teams, just 6 runs for YD that they've scored through these first few games. Few runs scored for the Kettleers through these first few games as well. So expect maybe a bit more small ball to be played today, with Mike Roberts maybe trying to get or play for 1 run at a time. So expect some bunts, some stealing, and some small ball by both of these tenured Cape Cod Baseball League coaches.
It's a very good point you bring up, and going back to the pitching here, this YD pitching staff, their starting pitchers, have allowed just 1 earned run through their first 3 starts. So definitely will be key to see if Youngerman and Ianson can get off to a hot start. And we'll send it down to the national anthem. We'll step aside here on the Cats Radio Network.
Yeah, we're staying on here for the national anthem. So, is it line in? Also,
Hey guys, my name's Adele Huffman, and I'm joined alongside Devin Taylor from Indiana University.
Actually,
National anthem was performed by Cape Cod Harmony. Excellent job by them, and we'll have the opportunity to talk to them later in the game. But quickly before first pitch begins, we'll send it to our own Adele Huffman, who caught up with Devin Taylor pregame.
Devin just finished up his sophomore year, where his freshman year he hit 16 home runs, coming in second among freshmen in home runs scored, and over his freshman and sophomore year, he scored 36 home runs, which only one other person has done at Indiana. And Devin came in our first away game against Orleans and scored our first home run of the season, which ultimately led to our first win of the season. Devin, how does that feel?
I mean, it feels good. I mean, I'm just playing the same game that I've always loved and just still playing it for love.
Awesome. And so tell us a little bit about the decision-making process behind coming to Cotuit this year.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Simmons, my assistant coach at Indiana. He was like, Coach Roberts is a really good coach, hard on you every day, coach you just to teach you to get 1% better every day, and that was my goal. So I thought that was a perfect fit.
And since you've been here, it's been a week or so. So what's your favorite part about Cotuit?
Honestly, my host family, they treat me really well, and they make the best meals on the Cape for sure.
That's awesome. And what are you looking forward to doing outside of playing baseball here on the Cape?
Probably go to the beach tomorrow, I'd say.
Have you been to the beach yet?
No.
All right, so first time.
Yeah.
So now that you're on the Cape, what are you looking forward to working on with Coach Roberts here this summer?
Just getting better at every part of my game, base running, defense, a little bit of hitting, just all around, everything, honestly.
And do you have anything that you would like to say to the Cotuit family?
We love the support that you guys come out every day, and hey, Cotuit.
Now let's get to the game. We'll see you guys later.
Just about moments away from first pitch from Lowell Park, Anthony Ianson getting ready to make his Kettleer debut as Phoenix Call steps into the batter's box. Ianson ready. Call is ready. The first pitch runs high and in tight, and we are underway from Cotuit. 78 degrees at first pitch. First pitch was tossed at 4:59 p.m. Ianson's next offering catches the strike zone, even the count at 1-1. Call so far this summer, 3 for 9 through 3 games, coming off a 2-hit performance last night where he swiped 2 bags as Ianson's next offering just misses off the plate, and Call up in the count 2-1 here. Ianson reaching 96 miles an hour on that last fastball. The 2-1 tried to find the inside corner. Call lays off.
Yeah, the All-Big West second teamer this past season was 7th in the conference with a 3.07 ERA. Unfortunately, is going to lose Phoenix Call here as his first batter faced, but a guy who was really able to cut down on that strikeout to walk ratio, 85 strikeouts to just 24 walks, which was a team lead this season at UC San Diego for Anthony Ianson.
So Phoenix Call reaches to begin the ball game, drawing a 5-pitch walk, and that'll bring up the center fielder Jonathan Kim. The first pitch to the lefty lined hard down the third base line and foul. Kim hitting 182 so far this summer, but made himself known to the YD faithful right away. Went 2 for 5 in game 1, but had a walk-off single. That gave them a 2-1 victory over Brewster. On opening night, Ianson, pretty breaking ball there. He's now up in the count 0-2.
That was a nice pitch right there. Backdoor breaking ball that just falls right in the back door and right down the middle of the strike zone to get Jonathan Kim back to 0-2.
Call leads off first, the 0-2 to Kim. Trying to locate on the outside corner, but just pushes it too far off the plate. Kim hit 262 this past year at Michigan. Call leads off first. This one chopped right back up the mound to Ianson. His throw goes to Mutsaritas at short. The throw not in time to nab Kim at first, so he reaches. And Call is cut down, so 1 out in the inning, and that brings up the designated hitter, Easton Carmichael.
Yeah, nice quick comebacker and good reaction from Ianson right there. Just a little bit low on the throw there to get Mutsaritas or to get the Call running to second. The throw to Mutsaritas kind of handcuffed him a little bit in between his legs. He had to receive it awkwardly and was unable to make that transfer fluid enough to get Kim at first. A guy who can steal bases at a high clip, and they're going to have to pay attention to him a little bit with Easton Carmichael stepping in here.
First pitch to Carmichael high for ball number 1. Carmichael coming off an excellent season at Oklahoma where he hit .366 and was named an All-American at the designated hitter position for a ball, and Carmichael's quickly up 2-0. So far this summer, he's 2 for 8. Has the one extra base hit YD has hit so far this year. That was a double. As Kim takes off, the ball goes behind the catcher, Jay. Kim thought about heading to third, now puts the brakes on and retreats back to second. That pitch was a ball from Ianson, so Carmichael's up 3-0 in the count, and Jonathan Kim stands in scoring position.
Well, you're starting to see what happens when they're unable to make that double play ball happen. A few moments ago where Kim was able to get on first, and the guy who stole 4 bags this past season at school has another one here on the Cape this summer.
His first stolen base this summer was caught stealing earlier as 3-0. Carmichael swinging away, fouls that straight back. Carmichael, the 67th All-American in Oklahoma Sooners history. Also earned a plethora of awards so far. The 3-1 on its way. Big cut, but then 94-mile-an-hour fastball blown right by him. So from 3-0 to 3-2, we go with 1 out in the inning. Ianson takes a look back at Kim. Now deals the full count pitch. Carmichael staying alive there, fouling it off. The rising junior, a big part of Oklahoma's Big 12 title. Led them to a 40-win season, an NCAA appearance. Has really been productive so far in his 2 seasons in Norman. Now the payoff pitch once more. Carmichael floats that down the right field line. That'll go foul. So back-to-back foul balls keeps this at-bat alive. Still 1 out in the inning. Kim reached on a fielder's choice, swipe second against Anthony Ianson.
Yeah, some of that small ball that we were talking about already taking place, and a chance here with the runner in scoring position.
The 3-2 lined at the shortstop, Mutsuritas, that deflects off of his glove, goes into left field. Brandon Compton, his throw will head to the plate. The throw is not in time. It gets behind the catcher, Jay. Advancing to second is Carmichael. So a good throw from Compton out in left field, but it just skips past the glove of Grant Jay, and YD takes an early 1-0 advantage.
Well, that's a hard way to lose an 8-pitch at the plate. A good at-bat work by Easton Carmichael, and one that was shot to the left side of the infield. They were shifted a little bit that way towards the pull side for Carmichael. Mutsuritas was able to get a glove on it, but the throw looked like they would have had Kim running around from second easily at home, but it barely squeezes underneath the glove of Jay, and that's the second time in this game already where we've seen a misplayed ball from behind the dish allow a runner to advance a base, and now 1-0 YD leads.
Now it's Cade McGee who watches a first pitch breaking ball catch the strike zone. McGee 2 for 10 on the early season. The rising senior at Texas Tech. In his first year with the Red Raiders, hit .282, 15 home runs, 55 RBIs. Ianson back to the breaking ball here. 2 quick strikes. So he's looking to get a much-needed out with Carmichael standing on second. Ianson gets the sign from Jay, takes a look back now, deals the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Anthony Ianson gets the punch out of Cade McGee. That brings up Drew Burris with 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, great job there by Ianson to get Cade McGee quickly, too, in 3 pitches. He's able to throw 20 pitches and 12 strikes so far in this first inning. Something more along the lines of that. Few pitches here against Drew Burris to get out of the frame early would be good for Ianson and the Kets.
First pitch to Burris, misses low. Burris, an ultra-productive freshman campaign at Georgia Tech. one that saw him hit 381, 25 home runs, 67 RBIs as he captured the ACC Freshman of the Year. Ball two, excuse me. Also won the National Freshman Hitter of the Year. Just the second hitter in Georgia Tech history to capture that award, joining Derek Dietrich as he hits a liner to Mutsaritas at short, makes the stop. Throw is in time to nab him at first. But YD gets on the board with an RBI single from Easton Carmichael as they take a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the first. Stay tuned for more here on the Cats Digital Network.
Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis. Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Osterville.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399. Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all
advantage. Now taking a look at the Cotuit lineup quickly. Leading things off is the center fielder Max Ballou, AJ Gracia. Sending it on deck circle, Devin Taylor batting third. Sean Keys in the cleanup spot. Grant J catching, he's hitting fifth. Brandon Compton in left field, he's batting sixth. Chris Arroyo batting seventh, he's playing first. And the middle infield duo of PJ Mutsaritas, he's batting eighth and playing short. And Jared Advincula is batting ninth, playing second. So Ballou steps in against the righty Sean Youngerman. First pitch from Youngerman. Misses for ball number one, that coming in at 93 miles an hour to the lefty Ballou. Ballou hitting .286 so far this summer. The 1-0 catches the strike zone, even in the count at 1-1 here. Youngerman had an 8-1 record this past year at Westmont College. 3.71 ERA. As Ballou lines that foul right behind home plate. Count now moves to 1-2. Youngerman was on the All-Pac West third team. Now he comes set looking for his first out of the ball game as Ballou hits this one in a right field. Getting underneath it is the right fielder Brown, who makes the grab for out number one.
You see Jake Brown make that play in right field out of LSU. Jonathan Kim joins him on the outfield out of Michigan in center. Drew Burris out of Georgia Tech plays in left field. Infield Cameron Kim and Phoenix Call, first and second base, both out of UCLA. Wahiva Aloy out of Arkansas plays short. Cade McGee out of Texas Tech plays at third. Brady Neal, also LSU, receiving the balls and strikes from Youngerman.
First pitch to AJ Gracia, looked at for strike number one. Both these pitchers really lighting up the radar gun. Another as Gracia fouling it off, and he's quickly down on the count 0-2.
Yeah, Youngerman, a really hard-throwing Division II pitcher. But last summer Westmont making the switch from NAIA to Division II baseball, and they'll participate in the Pac West Conference for Division II.
Gracia stays alive there, fouling off another pitch.
It's a pretty cool story, though, as once an NAIA pitcher, now D2, and now Sean Youngerman gets his chance to play amongst some of the top D1 players in the Cape League.
His 0-2 misses off the plate, and he's really had good numbers all throughout his collegiate career. Back in 2023, 3-0 was used more as a reliever. Made 14 appearances, just 2 starts. He had a 2.97 ERA as his 1-2. Misses too far in tight, went with the breaking ball there. The count is even at 2-2 here with 1 out in the inning. But last summer, Joe, his numbers excellent in the California Collegiate League. 2-0, and in 24 2/3 innings pitched, allowed just 1 earned run, as Gracia doing a good job staying alive in this at-bat. But really impressive stuff. 24 1/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 27 strikeouts, and allowed just 13 hits.
Yeah, he's incredible, and the Kettleers trying to find a way to get to him today after not being able to get ahead of pitchers the past 2 games.
The 2-2 lined into center field, going into a slide is Jonathan Kim for the second out of the inning. A pretty diving slide out in center. Fires Gracia for the second out.
Yeah, really hard hit ball by Gracia, straight back up the middle. Taking a few notes from yesterday's game where he went 0 for 3 but drove in one of the only runs for the Kettleers on a ground out to the right side. A quality at bat for A.J. Gracia, and he's still looking for his first one of those today in Game 4.
Now it's a designated hitter, Devin Taylor. Watches the first pitch miss for ball number 1. Taylor went 1 for 4 last night. Reached on a single back in the first inning. He's quickly up in the count, 2-0. Taylor really impressive in Game 2 of the Ket season. Went 2 for 2, reached in all 4 plate appearances, and jacked his first home run of the season as he takes a big cut out of the pitch there from Youngerman. 2-1 is the count with 2 outs in the inning. Youngerman comes set, deals. Fastball catches a strike zone as Taylor watches it go by. Now the count is even at 2-2. Youngerman looking for the 1-2-3 bottom of the first. Comes set, now kicks and deals the 2-2. The appeal down to Jeffrey Merzel at third base. Taylor did not go around. So now the count moves full. Justin Sims calling balls and strikes behind the plate as Taylor takes a big cut and comes up with nothing but air as Sean Youngerman works a 1-2-3 bottom of the first, and we head to the top of the second with YD holding the 1-0 advantage.
(1529) or info@coastalirrigation.net. For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance
equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-275.
6, 7, and 8 due up for YD here in the top of the second as they still hold the 1-0 advantage over the Kets. The first pitch from Anthony Ianson catches the strike zone for strike number 1. Taking a quick look at the Kets defensively. Brandon Compton playing left field, Max Ballou out in center. AJ Gracia playing right, Sean Keys at the hot corner as this one quickly grounded to Chris Arroyo at first base, flips it easily to Ianson covering first for out number 1. So nice play from Arroyo. He's making his season debut. He's playing first base. Jaron Advincula, he's at second, and his teammate at Cal, PJ Mutsaridis, playing at short and doing the catching today, Grant J. And of course, Anthony Ianson out on the bump. Wahiva Aloy, the shortstop, watches the first pitch go by for strike number 1. Aloy attends the University of Arkansas, takes a big healthy cut out of the breaking ball from Ianson, but misses it as Ianson now up 0-2. Aloy had great numbers in his freshman campaign at Sacramento State, then transferred to Arkansas, where he hit .270 this past summer. As he puts a charge into this one, going back is Max Ballou. He will get underneath it and make the running grab for the second out of the inning.
Well, nice job by Ianson in this inning to get these quick outs here. Another one right there up in the zone has worked through these past few batters, and a good response to giving up the walk and the RBI single in the first inning. 4 up, 4 down since that RBI single by Easton Carmichael.
Now it's the catcher Brady Neal, watches the first pitch go by for strike number 1. That was just the 6th pitch so far this inning for Ianson. The 7th wave through and missed by Neal as Anthony Ianson 1 strike away from working a 1-2-3 top of the second. Comes set, deals the 0-2. Misses low in the dirt.
You like to see Ianson getting ahead of batters, throw a first pitch strike. That's the 5th time in today's game so far where he's led off these batters with a strike.
Neal hits that to short, gets by the diving glove of PJ Mutsaridis, and Brady Neal has his first hit of the summer, breaking an 0-for-7 streak. And YD is on base with 2 outs.
It's just a good piece of 2-out hitting there, or 2-strike hitting and 2-out hitting from Brady Neal, going the opposite way on a pitch that was slightly outside to the left-handed swinger. And so now a chance to extend the inning for YD with Cameron Kim at the plate.
So it's the first baseman, Cameron Kim, as this pitch goes by the glove of Grant J. Moving up to second is Neal. So it's the 2nd time we've seen Ianson and J have a pitch go back to the backstop. So YD with another runner in scoring position with 2 outs in the inning. Ianson takes a look back at Neal. Now comes set, comes home with the 1-0. Big cut there. Runner Neal takes off. Jay doesn't make the throw. And Neal is in safely with a head first slot.
Yeah, Jay will walk out to talk it over with Anthony Ianson right now. They really just haven't been able to find the mark back there and need to get a block on some of these baseballs. We saw it in last night's game where Wareham was able to take advantage and advance base runners into scoring position. They were even able to score a run on a wild pitch as well. So for Ianson and Jay, they're going to have to figure something out here with the runner just 90 feet away with no room for error.
We saw the catcher Brooks Bryan last night go out to the mound a bunch, settle down last night's starting pitcher Logan Lunsford as Ianson's 1-1 offering misses for ball 2. Dialing it up to 94 miles an hour was Ianson. Here's the 2-1. This one spiked in the dirt but blocked by Jay. So Neal stays put just 90 feet away. But the count moves to 3-1 here to the first baseman, Kim.
Yeah, really nice block there by Jay. Of course, with the runner 90 feet away, as you mentioned, can't let anything get behind you, or else Brady Neal would be running down that third base line to score the second run of the game for YD.
Kim went 1 for 4 last night with 2 RBIs. Breaking ball to him, swing and a miss there. So the count goes full to the rising sophomore at UCLA. Ianson, the 3-2, got him looking. Kim thought it was ball 4, but Anthony Ianson strikes him out looking to strand Brady Neal at third. And we head to the bottom of the second with YD still leading 1-0 here on the Cats Digital Network.
Excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399. Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399. For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net. 99.
Welcome back to Lowell Park. Here in the bottom of the second, I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by my broadcast partner, Joe Pratt, and a member of Cape Cod Harmony, Grace Bellavacqua. I hope I said that right. It was close. But you guys sang the national anthem today, and in my opinion, absolutely crushed it. And thank God there's a fence there, because that line drive from Sean Keys blistering straight back at us from the first pitch from Sean Youngerman. But what was it like singing the national anthem here today?
Oh, it's great. Cape Harmony is a huge fan of the Cotuit Kettleers. We have been for years. It's my second summer, as is Nina's, so we're really happy to be back, and we're really hoping to see a win today.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great to listen to you guys sing the national anthem earlier today, and maybe just tell our fans a little bit more about what you guys do. What are you guys doing this afternoon, just after this?
Absolutely. So Cape Harmony is Cape Cod's professional all-travel a cappella group. We were founded in 2006, and we have shows all over the Cape all summer long. You can find us in Hyannis at the First Baptist Church on Mondays. On Tuesdays, you can find us right here in Cotuit at the Cotuit Federated Church. On Thursdays, we're at St. Christopher's in Chatham. And on Fridays, we are at the United Methodist Church in Harwich. Our shows are at 7:30, and we'll be here through August. So we hope to see everyone around, and we'll definitely be back at a game soon to sing the national anthem again.
Yeah, that would be great. And you guys, a lot like, these baseball players and these Cape League teams, you guys also travel all around the Cape, going to these different locations. What's that like to be able to travel as a group and be able to perform in front of plenty of different audiences?
It's so exciting. I'm personally from Massachusetts, so I get to call the Cape my home, but a lot of our members are from all over the country, so it's really exciting to live vicariously through them, experiencing Cape Cod for the first time. Everyone shows us so much kindness and grace, especially people like you and like Bruce. So we're really, really blessed to be here every year.
Grant J now up, takes a big cut out of the pitch, fouls that away. But how did Cape Cod Harmony get started, and how did you guys find out about it?
That's a great question. So we were founded in 2006 by 2 college students. One was from BU and one was from UConn. And there's 2 male counterpart groups. They're called Vineyard Sound and Hyannis Sound that existed for like 20 years before we did. And these 2 college girls were like, what about the upper voices? So they formed Cape Harmony. And we are in our 19th season. We all personally do college a cappella. We're all college students, so a lot of us find out through word of mouth. And I found out from some girls I did college a cappella with, and so did Nina. And we do auditions every January, and we pick 10 people to be here.
That's really awesome. And what would you say is probably your favorite part of being a part of the Harmony group?
It's definitely like a second family. A fun fact about us is that we all live together, so it's kind of like the baseball kids. But it's really, really so special to get to spend the summer with everybody and not only call the group my family, but all of the really special people on the Cape. Everyone that hosts us to sing every week and being here and getting to sing at the games, it's really like a second family. So
the 1-2 to Jay. Got him looking. Back-to-back outs for Sean Youngerman. His second punch-out of the day gets Grant Jay looking. Now that brings up the left fielder, Brandon Compton.
So you guys have a pretty cool event later on this weekend with the baseball players at the Cotuit Federated Church. What's that going to be like?
Yes, we're so excited. We have a welcome service with the Kettleers. We do it every summer with Pastor Angie. It's a lovely welcome service. We sing a couple songs. I know some of the players read some scripture. It's a really great way to just like kick off the season for everyone and bring the community together.
It's going to be super cool. I'm excited to see who gets to get involved in that, and hopefully some Kettleers are able to take some of that good mojo into the Sunday night game against Chatham right here at Lowell Park.
Definitely could help out as Compton takes a big cut even in the count at 1-1 here. Youngerman now takes a look, kicks and deals the 1-1. Compton fouls this away. The 93-mile-an-hour fastball. And now Youngerman's 1 strike away from working back-to-back 1-2-3 innings.
What's the transition like? You mentioned a lot of you guys go from singing at school with your own groups and things like that and kind of building chemistry a lot like some of these baseball players who play with their own college teammates, but you guys do the same thing but make that transition and kind of develop new chemistry with new singers you haven't sang with before.
Yeah, so our first week that we get here the last weekend of May. So that first week is what we call boot camp week, and we spend all day, every day rehearsing music and just like staying in the house and getting to know one another. And it's a really special week that we spend a lot of time throughout the rest of the summer like reminiscing on. But we have 3 rehearsals a day for like 6 to 8 hours learning all of our music and getting to know each other, and it's a great way to transition into the summer.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear, and it was great to hear you guys for the national anthem. We'll hope to see you around Lowell Park as the season keeps on going.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for hopping on. That was Cape Cod Harmony as Brandon Compton strikes out to end the inning as Sean Youngerman works a 1-2-3 inning, and we'll head to the top of the third here from Lowell Park.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis. Operating on Cape Cod since 1988.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free comb on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
Back to the top of the order for the YD Red Sox as they have a 1-0 lead over the Cotuit Kettleers. Anthony Ianson back for his third inning of work. Starts out Phoenix Call with a first pitch breaking ball that misses off the plate for ball number 1. Call walked in his first plate appearance. Lines this one right back up the middle and through for a leadoff single. That one nearly drilling. Ianson just had to get out of the way of that pitch, but Call reaches for the second time today. Now that brings up Jonathan Kim.
Almost had a play on it there, and Phoenix Call, having been up to the plate his last time up, wasn't able to swing at any pitches. He accepted a 5-pitch walk, so wanting to be aggressive his second time around against Ianson. Does so perfectly right there with a laced ball straight back up the middle.
Jonathan Kim swinging away, lines this high and hard down the left field line and foul. Kim reached on a fielder's choice and later came around to score on the Easton Carmichael RBI single that gave YD the 1-0 lead back in inning number 1. Call leads off first. Ianson comes home with it. This goes off the glove of Jay all the way back to the backstop. As Call takes a turn around second, he will stay put. As once again, Ianson and Jay struggling to find that chemistry.
Yes, it's going to be the third wild pitch of the game so far for Anthony Ianson. One of them was on a stolen base, so it didn't have too much impact on the play, but you can't be doing that, especially with no outs in the inning. And now just makes things a bit harder for the Kettleers fielding and Ianson at the plate.
Kim squared around a bunt and then pulled back.
Third. Give me pitcher on first.
Pitch miss low.
Oh, okay, never mind. Race center takes center.
So Call leads off second, 2-1 the count to Kim. Kim squares around a bunt, pulls back. That one catches the strike zone. Now the count is even at 2-2. Kim was ultra productive in his freshman campaign in Ann Arbor. Played in 44 games, hit .322, and was named to the All Big Ten third team. Ianson 2-2 pitch, got him swinging. Filthy breaking ball for Anthony Ianson as he records his third strikeout of the ball game and the first out of the inning.
Huge out right there against Jonathan Kim, who was able to reach base his last time up at the plate in the first inning. And now a chance here against Easton Carmichael, who rattled a single off of Ianson the first time he faced him and was able to score the first run of this ball game. And now he has an opportunity to notch his second RBI of this ball game.
First pitch to Carmichael. Breaking ball low in the dirt. Carmichael thought about swinging but held back.
Take third. Home. Take home. Race center.
Carmichael's average improved up to .333 after the single back in the first inning. Ianson takes a look back at the runner. Now comes home. This one hitting the center field. Max Ballou on the run, makes the catch. His throw going to third, goes off the line. Sean Keys will head off the bag to glove it down. So Phoenix Call moves up to third base, but there's 2 outs in the inning, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Cade McGee.
Give me batter. Actually, no. Third base. Right third. Take third. Right first. Take third. Give me pitcher.
So back-to-back productive at-bats for Carmichael. Had an RBI in his first at-bat, moved up Call in his second. Now it's Cade McGee, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat, and Ianson opens this at-bat with a breaking ball in there for strike number 1.
Yeah, 7th time he's done that so far today, and most of which have ended in outs, so especially the last time he faced Cade McGee. Going to look to do that once more, where he pitched him with 3 pitches, all of which were strikes.
Delivers a ball here, evening the count at 1-1. In other news that involves the Kettleers, former Cotuit Kettleer Ben Rice played on the team in 2021. He's called up to the New York Yankees today. Rice hit .265 in 13 games with the Kets as this one grounded to short Mutsaritas fields it cleanly, throws on to first in time to nab McGee. So Ianson works in and out of trouble. And Strands, Phoenix call at third base. And now we'll welcome Adele Huffman to the broadcast. Adele, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Alex. I just want to talk about this field for a little bit. So we have a brand new field this year. It's obvious, but did you guys know that this field was actually built by the same company who built the Boston Red Sox field, Sports Turf Specialties? We've got new foul poles, a new pitch clock, batting cages, and I was talking to our president of the team, Fran, and he said it just looked like this field was built up like a layer cake with some sand, turf, and eventually some sod. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I'm in a movie every time I watch these baseball games. And I understand why people call it the Field of Dreams, because this is a place where players can focus and play their game because they don't have to worry about anything going wrong with the field. So I'm just glad we can experience watching a team play on such a beautiful field.
Yeah, we definitely can. And, I mean, it's amazing to see what this field looks like, and I just love the look of the trees in the outfield, and the no lights kind of has that older rustic feel as well with the all wooden grandstands. So it couldn't look any better. I mean, and I have to ask both of you guys. Now, we haven't been to every single stadium in the league so far, but what has been your favorite to this point?
Other than here,
right?
That's a tough question.
I'm gonna have to go with Orleans because that was our big win, and you know, a win makes a field feel better.
Orleans was a good one. For scrimmages, Martha's Vineyard going out there, that was a really nice field. So
it was
definitely a lot of really nice fields here on the Cape. As Chris Arroyo digging in for his first at bat, watches that pitch catch the strike zone. But definitely to see the renovations here at Lowell Park, it's just an absolutely gorgeous field. They've done really great work to it, and definitely, like you mentioned, Adele, just a safe space for these guys to go and concentrate on their games as Arroyo swinging away at the 0-2 pitch. Lines that high and hard down the left field line. Thank you so much, Adele, for the information on the new field. Youngerman's 0-2. Tried to paint it on the outside corner. 94 on the gun. But Arroyo lays off. Count now to 1-2. Arroyo transferring to UVA. Was at Pasco Hernando State this past year. Takes a healthy cut, but Sean Youngerman punches him out for his fourth of the game and third consecutive strikeout.
Yeah, Youngerman really fell into a groove here in this third inning to start off right against Chris Arroyo in the bottom half of this order. P.J. Mutsaritas will bat next, and Jaron Advincula is on deck. A pair of guys who are still looking to make their impact offensively on this Kettleers lineup.
Mutsaritas takes a first pitch fastball in there for strike number one. Mutsaritas went 1 for 4 last night. Singled and came around to score as he grounds that one up the middle and through for a one-out single. So just we were talking about Mutsaritas looking to make an impact offensively. He gets on, and now his teammate at Cal, Jaron Advincula, steps up.
Yeah, first hit, first base run of the day for the Kettleers. As mentioned in the pregame show, Alex, the first 3 innings going to be super important to try to get on Sean Youngerman. The Kettleers have gone 7 up, 7 down through the first 7 in the lineup. Going to have to figure out a way to bring more guys to the plate, get some extra looks against Youngerman, and try to get him out of this game early.
Mutsaritas with the cat's first hit. He will instantly take off for second. The throw down is in time. They got him. Brady Neal guns down P.J. Mutsaritas. So as quickly as Cotuit gets a runner on base, Neal makes quick work of him. And that's 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, also mentioned in the pregame show the amount of small ball that we could see in this game. We're seeing a lot of shifting from the YD defense. That's in response to the bunt plays that Scott Pickler might be expecting from Mike Roberts. As right here, it looked like that one could have hit Advincula low and inside. We'll have a word with the catcher and a pause here before the next pitch, but Yeah, a lot of small ball going on in this game. Have to expect a lot of stolen base attempts, and credit the throwdown from Brady Neal and the shortstop Wahiva Aloy to squeeze his glove around that one as Mutsaritas was barreling into second and slid past the bag. And now Alex will have a stoppage here with the entire umpiring crew to talk about what just happened at home plate to send the count to 2-0. Did you get a better look at that?
So Advincula was saying that the pitch ran in tight and drilled him. Said a couple of words to the home plate umpire Justin Sims. So now they're meeting to discuss. I didn't see if it drilled him.
I think it could have been pretty close with the way the catcher Neal was reaching. But if it was able to hit part of his body, it had to have clipped his jersey or maybe that back arm. But it's really tough to tell from here. And we didn't hear a noise. Usually you hear kind of an abnormal sound, but they'll continue his AB at 2-0.
The 2-0 pitch. 2-1 now. Half-hearted swing from Advincula. But like you mentioned, Joe, usually a distinct sound that you hear on a hit by pitch. Did not hear that there, so Advincula stays in the box. The 2-1 misses. He's now up 3-1 here. Advincula hitting 200 so far this summer. Looking to keep this inning alive with the Cats still down 1-0. 3-1 swing away. Fouls it off, and now the count runs full here with 2 outs in the inning. Youngerman comes set. Now deals the full count pitch. And Advincula lines that down the left field line and out of play, foul.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier Advincula pinch hit for in the top of the 9th inning last night with an 0-1 count. He swung and missed at the first pitch he saw, and Mike Roberts then elected to go to the bench and bring Brandon Compton on for a pinch hit opportunity. An interesting decision from Mike Roberts that didn't end up paying off as Compton ended up striking out.
Advincula stays alive on the 7th pitch of the at-bat. But he took a healthy cut facing Jake Faraday, and Roberts made the move to bring on Compton. But it ultimately did not work out for the Cats as he struck out, and Mutsaritas grounded out to second as Advincula hits this one on the ground to the second baseman. The throw is not in time, gets past the first baseman, Kim. That was Phoenix call on the throw, so Jaron Advincula reaches, and the inning stays alive as the Cats lineup turns over to the leadoff man, Max Ballou.
A really nice job by Phoenix Call, having to range all the way into shallow right field to make that play, and pirouette and throw. Almost had Advincula if the throw was on line. Also a wise play by Cameron Kim at first, not to try to dive in front of that ball. He knew Advincula was barreling up that first base line, and that would have drawn a massive collision. So a good job by him to bow out, and with 2 gone, there's the chance for the top of the order and Max Ballou to advance Advincula over.
So Advincula singles, Ballou, big cut on the 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Youngerman. Youngerman, 48 pitches, 35 strikes through 2 2/3 innings pitched. The 0-1 misses at the top of the zone. Youngerman takes a long look at Advincula at first. He takes his lead. Ballou hits this one into left field. Getting underneath it is Burris, who makes the catch for out number 3. So Jaron Advincula's 2-out single does not come back to bite Sean Youngerman. As we're through 3 from Lowell Park, YD still leads 1-0 here on the Cats Digital Network.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasek, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasek Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasek Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasek Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free comb on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod. Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Three innings, gave up 3 hits, allowed 1 run, 1 earned run, walked 3, struck out 3, and tossed 50 pitches. Now they bring on Hunter Watkins, and Watkins
CU this season, 3.83 ERA across 18 appearances, 4 of which were starts and 47 innings pitched. 20 earned runs, 13 walks, and 47 strikeouts. He held batters to a .279 batting average. And so our first look's at Hunter Watkins pitching out of the bullpen for the Kettleers. So we get another 3-inning performance from the starter, Ianson. And then they go to the bullpen. The bullpen has pitched really well in response to opening day when they allowed, well, plenty of runs against that Harwich team, over 7 earned in just over 7 innings pitched. So a chance here for Hunter Watkins to keep the strong performance from the bullpen going here into Game 4 against YD. He'll face the middle of the lineup for the Red Sox.
Watkins' first pitch in there for strike number 1 against Drew Burris. Burris 0 for 1 on the day, still looking for his first hit this summer. He grounded out in AB number 1. Watkins' breaking ball goes right through the legs of the catcher, Grant J. And Joe, the first thing that I noticed about Hunter Watkins, really imposing figure out on the mound, 6'8", 235 pounds. Extremely tall as he blows a fastball by Burris there, moving the count to 1-2.
Yeah, and also played on that team last year, the Foresters in the California Collegiate League.
Pretty breaking ball gets Drew Burris looking for the first out of the inning as Watkins just dropped that right into the bucket of Grant J. So now that's 1 out in the inning. It'll bring up the right fielder, Jake Brown.
Really solid pitch there from Watkins. Throws hard from the tall right-handed position, 6'8", as you mentioned. Really imposing figure at the top of the mound and working really quickly.
Watkins out of the windup. Deals the 0-1. Brown lines that hard and foul down the left field line, and quickly 0-2 is the count. Six pitches so far for Watkins, 5 of which being strikes. The 0-2 on the way to Brown goes back to the breaking ball. Nearly got the call, clipping the outside corner. But it just misses off the plate. That was a 72-mile-an-hour breaking ball on the outside corner. Watkins really changing speeds as he goes back to the fastball here. Grounded to Advincula at second. Makes the play in time. And Jake Brown is retired for out number 2.
Yeah, Watkins played with Sean Youngerman, the starter of YD today, over with the Santa Barbara Foresters in the California Collegiate League. Watkins was actually a part of a combined no-hitter with the Foresters thrown on July 20th.
Now this brings up the shortstop, Wahiva Aloy. Watkins starts the at-bat with a breaking ball. Sean Youngerman, Hunter Watkins combined for a no-hitter. Really cool storyline in this game. Two former teammates doing battle out on the bump here at Lowell Park. As a 91-mile-an-hour fastball lined foul from Aloy. As Watkins out of the windup, 1-1. Going back to the off speed here. Does not get Aloy to expand the zone. Aloy so far this summer 1 for 10. That hit came last night. He also scored a run. Hits this one into right field. On the run is AJ Gracia, reaching up, making the grab. Looked like Gracia might have lost it in the sun for a moment, but readjusts and makes the athletic grab to end the inning. So Hunter Watkins comes out onto the mound, tosses a 1-2-3, top of the fourth, and we head to the bottom half of the inning with YD still up 1-0 here on the Cats Digital Network.
Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
2-3-4 due up for the Cotuit Kettleers. Still down 1-0. I'm Alatraco, joined alongside by my broadcast partner, Joe Pratt. So there seems to be a delay on the field here. But just giving a quick recap of this game, YD jumped on the board early with an RBI single from Easton Carmichael. That came all the way back in the top of the first. YD has 3 hits compared to Cotuit's 2. Kettleers also have an error on the ball game. Seems to be some meeting down on the field, and now about to get ready to go again. As the starter Sean Youngerman continues to toss his warm-up pitches. Youngerman today, 3 innings, allowed 2 hits, has not walked a batter and has struck out 4. He's thrown 50 pitches so far. But he's facing a dangerous part of this Cotuit order. Gracia, Taylor, and Keys. Gracia and Taylor combined for the first 2 home runs of the year for the Cats. That came back in Game 2. And the Kettleers' lone win of the year back in Orleans. As Gracia looks at the first pitch off the plate for ball number 1. The Duke star is 0 for 1 on the day, flew out to center field, and he singles here on the 1-0 fastball from Youngerman. So 2 hard hit balls for Gracia, and he's on to lead off the inning.
A nice piece of hitting from Gracia, pulling that one through the right side, and a big inning here for the Kettleers. They got the middle of the lineup coming up for their second rotation around facing Sean Youngerman. And a chance to put up some runs here after the leadoff man gets aboard. Let's see how they handle this. Maybe if Roberts wants to send Gracia from first. But You might want to think twice about that with the way that Devin Taylor has been swinging the bat. Really hot bat the past couple days for the Kettleers. Of course, blasting the first homer in the season for the Kets during the Orleans game 2 nights ago.
Taylor quickly up in the count, 2-0. The third baseman, Cade McGee, just off the grass. And the shortstop, Aloy, shaded up the middle as the breaking ball misses low in the dirt. Blocked by the catcher, Neal. And Gracia stays put over there at first. So 3-0 is the count on Taylor, who's 0 for 1 today. He struck out swinging. Singled in yesterday's contest. Looking to make it 3 straight games with a hit. And Neal will walk out to the mound and talk things over with his pitcher.
Yeah, wisely, as the pitch clock was down to 3 seconds, and Neal quickly calling time. Had to call twice for Justin Sims, the home plate umpire, to realize that he was calling time, just to take a second here, use the mound visit to talk over what they're going to do here against Devin Taylor, potentially to buy some more time to allow whoever's warming up in the YD bullpen, a right-hander down in the right field corner, warming up for YD. And now a 3-0 count against Devin Taylor here, so likely you're not going to want to give him anything he can hit down over the plate. Likely just put him on first base and get the hottest hitter in this lineup out of the way.
We saw a pitch count violation last night. That was by the Kets as Taylor swing away on 3-0. Fouls this down the left field line.
You could tell he just missed that one too. He was frustrated with himself after spoiling it foul. See if he gets another pitch he can hit here.
That last pitch came in at 92 miles an hour, just off the outside part of the plate. Pickoff attempt. Gracia back in standing. Now Youngerman back out on the mound. Comes set. Another pickoff move. Gracia still in standing. He stole 5 bases during his freshman campaign with the Blue Devils. Has a short lead off first. Now the 3-1 to Taylor. Big swing and a miss, and Taylor frustrated once again. So from 3-0 to 3-2. And now YD shifts their infield with Aloy standing right up the middle.
Have to expect Gracia is going to take off here.
Gracia stays put. Taylor swings and miss on a pitch outside. So he's set down for the first out of the inning and the 5th strikeout today for Youngerman.
Yeah, really nice job by Sean Youngerman to work his way back into that count, locating outside to Devin Taylor, not afraid to climb the ladder either. 3 straight fastballs, gets the foul ball, the swing and miss, and another tip into the glove of Neal to set down Taylor for his 2nd strikeout of the day.
Youngerman was working the outer portion of the plate to him, as now that brings up Sean Keys, who foul tips it right in front of home plate. Justin Sims will toss Youngerman a new baseball. Keys today, 0 for 1. Struggling so far this summer, hitting just .091. That's rare struggles for a guy who really mashed last summer with the Cats. Hit nearly 500, was 15 for 33.
Went on to have a monster year at school, too. So very uncharacteristic for the third baseman of the Kettleers.
Keys hits this one fair down the first base line. Gracia takes the turnaround second. He will get in standing at third. Now they'll put the brakes on as the throw comes in. So Sean Keys reaches on a one-out single. Gracia just 90 feet away. And the Cats are threatening here in the bottom half of the fourth.
Yeah, right on cue, Sean Keys. Sometimes that's all it takes. It seems like in the first few games for Sean Keys, when things weren't necessarily going his way, that one maybe would have taken a weird hop and kicked into foul ground. This time it's able to stay up the line and get past the first baseman, Cameron Kim. And so nice job there for Sean Keys. It's nice to see him get aboard with his second base knock of the summer. And now a chance for Grant J to make his presence felt here in the top of the fourth inning. Bottom of the fourth with the Kets being the home team today and a chance to tie up this ball game.
This is a big spot for Jay here. Runners on the corners and one out. The first pitch from Youngerman in there for strike number one. Jay still looking for his first hit this summer. A split time behind the plate with Brooks Bryan. But Jay, really powerful bat at Dallas Baptist this past year. Hit 21 home runs, and he might have gotten one here. A deep drive into left field, and it's gone. An absolute in a big spot here, giving the Kets a 3-1 lead here in the bottom of the fourth.
21 homers this season at DBU for Grant Jay, and his first as a Kettleer. That's a way to get your first base knock as a Cotuit Kettleer for Grant Jay, and he puts the Kettleers up 3-1 in the bottom of the fourth inning, and that is likely going to be the day for Sean Youngerman as Jay's bomb takes him out of this ball game, having pitched 3 1/3.
And it was only a matter of time for this Cotuit offense to strike, and boy did Grant Jay answer the bell in a big way. So that'll do it for Sean Youngerman's day, as we will head to a quick break here on the Cats Digital Network with Cotuit leading 3-1.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
9-9. Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-93.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
5-2. Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990. Their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 463.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. Since 1995,
Grant Jay unloads the bases with a 3-1 bomb here in the bottom of the fourth, and now Cotuit has a newfound 3-1 advantage. That prompts YD to go to their bullpen and relieve Sean Youngerman, and up to this point, Youngerman truly was dominating this Cotuit lineup. But his final numbers, 3 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, all of which earned, did not walk a batter, and struck out 5. And now,
yeah, a returner on YD's roster this summer, a 3.94 ERA and 4 appearances last summer for the Red Sox, 3 of which were starts and 16 innings pitched.
So the first pitch to Compton in there for strike number 1. We were just talking about the power of Grant J moments before the home run, and that ball might still be traveling. That's how far he hit it. Bucknam comes set. Pitch runs too far in tight. Backing Compton out of the batter's box. Compton 0 for 1 on the day. Struck out swinging to end the bottom of the second. The 1-1 here. Compton, big swing. That goes back toward the parking lot. A packed parking lot here. Crowd really came out for the second home game here at Lowell Park. Grandstands are filled. People in lawn chairs lining down the third and first base lines. As Bucknam now comes set. His 1-2 pitch laced into center field. Brandon Compton reaches with a 1-out single. And Cotuit's bats coming alive here in the bottom of the 4th.
A nice piece of hitting there from Compton, straight back up the middle and into center field to get the first hit on Micah Bucknam, who just finished up his sophomore year at LSU. And a good chance for the Kettleers to try to get things going against the YD bullpen. They got rid of the starter already, but now it's an opportunity to work more against this relief staff for YD. And now before this at-bat here, who would be Chris Arroyo batting for the Kettleers. Let's see if we'll send out a pinch hitter, as no one has emerged from the dugout yet, and it's going to be Tanner Thatch to take over for him at first base and bat in the 7th spot.
So Tanner Thatch takes over for Chris Arroyo. Arroyo struck out swinging in his first plate appearance this summer. That was a much-needed hit for Compton, though, his first on the Cape. That's 3 consecutive hits for Cotuit.
Yeah, much needed for a guy who hit .354 this season at ASU. 67 hits and a .661 slugging percentage, so hopefully this is just the start for Brandon Compton.
The Cats up to 6 hits on the ballgame. Thatch looking to make a cut that's tipped right into the glove of the catcher, Neal. Now he goes out to the mound to talk with his college teammate in Bucknam. A little bit of chemistry between the two guys working together at LSU, now coming to YD and playing together on the Cape.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, and a lot of representation from LSU on this roster. Jake Brown is in right field as well. There's also 9 UCLA Bruins on this roster for YD. 2 of them in the field right now at second base and at first.
Neal spent his first 2 years at LSU, currently in the transfer portal, but really backs up Thatch and misses the zone. Thatch picked up his first hit last night against Wareham. That came in the 7th inning. He also reached in that near comeback in the top of the 9th. He was hit by a pitch. He was one of 4 Kettleers to reach base, but they could not mount the 3-run comeback. 2-1 is the count now on Thatch. Breaking ball fooled him there from Bucknam as Thatch was trying to unload and potentially make this a 5-1 ball game, but the breaking ball fooled him. And the count is even at 2-2 here.
And another guy who blasted a number of home runs this past season at UNCW, 27 for Thatch.
The 2-2 pitch misses low and outside. The count runs full here with 1 out in the inning. Brandon Compton leads off first. He singled in the first at-bat against the reliever, Micah Bucknam. Now the payoff pitch. Bucknam went with the breaking ball, could not clip the top of the strike zone, so Thatch reaches and Cotuit as runners on first and second, still with 1 out in the inning.
Really productive at-bat there from Tanner Thatch, seeing plenty of pitches from Micah Bucknam. Exactly what you want to do when you get a new pitcher into the ball game. Don't make him feel comfortable at all. Now with runners on first and second, the Kettleers likely in the driver's seat here against Bucknam with a chance to extend their lead.
This brings up P.J. Mutsaridis. He singled but was caught stealing in his first at-bat. This one hit into right field. Brown, the right fielder, makes the grab. His throw goes into second. That's gloved by the shortstop, Aloy, so the runners will stay put. So allowed out for Mutsaridis, his second of the inning, and that brings up Advincula. Jaron Advincula 1 for 1 on the ball game. He singled just an inning ago. Was the second hit for Cotuit. Now we call time here. As YD shifting on Advincula here. McGee near on the grass. The shortstop Aloy shaded up the middle. The second baseman call playing just off the infield.
I think you would see a bit more of a shift if there wasn't a runner on second to take away the threat of Compton going from second to third.
First pitch to Advincula gets away from the catcher Neal. The throw down to third is not in time. So Compton moves up 90 feet, and Cotuit has runners on first and third. Still 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, and Tanner Thatch stays put at first. He tapped his chest a couple times towards Mike Roberts, saying he knows he should have went. Roberts went palms up, saying, yeah, well, he probably should have gone, but still a chance to bring home Brandon Compton, who's just 90 feet away, and they'll have runners on the corner, so still some attention to be paid for Thatch at first. We'll see if they try anything here to send him. We saw that a couple days ago against Harwich. They send the runner on first and allow the runner on third to go home.
Another pitch in the dirt, blocked by Neal. Both runners stay put on the corners. So 2-0 to Advincula. That would be an interesting decision, especially with 2 outs. It might make the play easy just to throw down to second, but never know how creative Mike Roberts gets. Cotuit up 3-1 after the 3-run home run from Grant J earlier in this inning, as Bucknam finds the strike zone here on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, it worked perfectly the other day. Roberts decided to send the runner from first to second. The throw got away into center field, allowed the runner from third to score easily.
The 2-1. Bucknam paints the inside corner. Advincula did not like the call there, but 2-2 is the count. Bucknam comes set. Gets the sign from Neal. Now kicks and deals the 2-2 pitch. Well off the plate, and now the count runs full here with 2 outs in the inning.
Good eye and another good at-bat here by Jaron Advincula. Making Bucknam work incredibly hard to get these final 2 outs of the fourth.
The Cats have had a lot of productive at-bats today as Thatch takes off. Advincula skies this one into left field. Getting underneath it is the left fielder Drew Burris, who makes the grab for out number 3, but not before Cotuit explodes with a 3-run home run by Grant J, as they have a 3-1 lead, and we'll send it back to our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman, who's talking about interns and players mixing.
Thank you, Alex. What a fourth inning we just saw. What a home run from Grant J, bringing them all in. Let's go ahead and talk about some interns that are now assistant coaches, starting off with Elliott. He's a third year here, beginning as a game day intern, moving on to analytics, and now he coaches our bullpen. And we've also got Willie T, who's a fourth year here. He started as our assistant liaison, moved on to GM liaison 2 times, and now he coaches our first base. It's awesome to see interns just like us moving on to continue and pursue their career, which Cotuit obviously allowed. We wouldn't have such a successful team if we didn't have these interns move on to help head coach Mike Roberts. Joe, you've seen them continue to pursue their passions. You know Elliott and Willie T well. How is it seeing them continue on to coach this team this year?
It's great. I mean, just 2 amazing guys away from the ball field, and maybe people might initially think, well, they're just interns and then they just get spots on the coaching staff to just kind of fill a role and maybe be guys to help out Mike Roberts. No, these are guys who grew up around baseball and know the game incredibly well. Will Thompson has to be one of the smartest and most talented baseball minds I've ever talked to. And Elliott Wolf as well is a guy who was a great high school baseball player and was going to go on to play college ball too, but decided not to at Colby and pursue his academic career, but clearly it's paying off great as he's been able to stay involved in baseball. It's just really awesome to see what these guys have been able to do, but I think it's just a testament to the hard work that they put in for 2 long years and long summers, for Willie T 3 years, but to work really hard, and Mike Roberts noticed that and gave them their opportunity. So it's great to see them out there making an impact with the Kettleers on the coaching staff and not just interns.
Definitely 2 valuable additions to this coaching staff, and especially Willie T. He's a guy that I've gotten to know a couple of times through mutual friends, one of which being Jake Starr. He introduced me there. So definitely a guy that if you're at Lowell Park and at the ballpark, you see Willie T. He's definitely a notable guy. He stands, 6'3", 6'4".
I think more like 6'7", but yeah.
Yeah, he's up there. I'm a little short compared to him, so constantly looking up at him. But if you have the time, definitely talk to him. A great baseball mind. As 1-2 is the count here on Brady Neal.
Big Celtics fan too, Willie T is.
Celtics captured their NBA championship last night, 18th all-time. Thanks so much, Adele, as Hunter Watkins continuing to dice up the YD lineup. His second strikeout on the ballgame as he gets Brady Neal fishing here.
Yeah, well, that's a great way to start off this top of the 5th inning for Hunter Watkins and the Kettleers. This bottom half of the lineup was able to get a hit from Brady Neal his last time up, and he got all the way to third base. But credit this pitching staff for Cotuit to be able to buckle down when runners have been able to get in scoring position. YD has left 3 there.
Now it's the 9-hole hitter, Cameron Kim. Kim struck out looking back in the second. First pitch to him, this is for ball number 1. Kim this year at UCLA played in 23 games. As he hits this one high up in the air, backing up is the second baseman, Jaron Advincula, going way into right field and making the grab for the second out of the inning. And Hunter Watkins, 5 up, 5 down so far in his 1 2/3 innings of work.
Yeah, pitching to weak contact, keeping these pitches down in the zone to these swingers. And a guy who's thrown 18 pitches, 12 of which have been strikes. An opportunity to get out of this 5th inning 3 up, 3 down against Phoenix Call, a guy who has reached in both of his plate appearances so far, a walk and a single.
So Call 1 for 1 on the day, looking to extend this inning here and get the first base runner on since he last got on. That was to lead off the top of the 3rd. So 8 straight Red Sox hitters retired. The 1-0 just misses, and Call up in the count 2-0. Another one of these UCLA Bruins. He played in 32 games this year, hit .222. As Watkins finds the strike zone there, 2-1 is the count to the second baseman. Cole had a productive night last night as he gets his second base hit here as he ropes this one into left field. As Compton plays it on a hop, quickly gets it in, and Phoenix Call now 2 for 2. He's reached base in all 3 plate appearances and keeps the top of the 5th alive. Call back-to-back multi-hit performances. Had 2 hits last night. Now has 2 hits here today. It's Jonathan Kim. Takes a big cut out of the breaking ball from Watkins.
Phoenix Call, something to pay attention to over at first. Already 2 stolen bases this season, both of which were last night.
He had 9 last summer in the West Coast League. Count is even at 1-1. Kim today 0 for 2. Did score a run when he came around on the Easton Carmichael RBI single back in the top of the first, as a pickoff move keeps Call honest over there at the bag. Now Watkins comes set. Keys in on the grass at third. Goes back to the breaking ball here, gets Kim out in front. Now he's up in the count 1-2. Kim looking to keep this inning alive after the 2-out single from Call. Watkins back to the breaking ball, gets the strikeout here, his second of the inning, third of the ball game. And Hunter Watkins continuing to dominate out of the bullpen here as Cotuit takes a 3-1 advantage into the bottom of the fifth. And after this commercial break, my broadcast partner Joe Pratt will take over on play-by-play duty, so stay tuned here on the Cats Digital Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
The fifth inning. Joe Pratt, Alex Rocco are with you as the Kettleers lead at 3-1. And there's a look at Willie T. It is his post at the first base coach's box. As we start off this bottom of the fifth frame, the Kettleers 3 runs on 6 hits so far. And Max Bellou will lead things off. In the leadoff spot, the first pitch is down and inside to him. He is 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts, 1 to left field, 1 to right field. And facing Micah Bucknam, who relieved Sean Youngerman, who went 3 1/3 innings, gave up 3 earned runs. They were all on that 3-run bomb by Grant J an inning ago. Next pitch is laced into center field for a base hit for Max Bellou. His first of the day improves to 1 for 3. So another leadoff base runner for the Kettleers in back-to-back innings.
And Bellou not trying to do too much on the pitch there, just flaring that into center field. And an interesting move putting him in the leadoff spot. Hit 5th last night and hit 5th in the season opener. But Mike Roberts going with Bellou in the leadoff spot, and it pays off as he's on to start this inning.
And now with A.J. Gracia in the 2 spot, he's 1 for 2. Left-handed swinger facing Bucknam for the first time. So we'll see if Bellou stays put over there at first. I've seen 1 stolen base attempt for the Kets so far. It was P.J. Moutsouridis back in the 3rd. He was caught stealing after being the first base runner to reach base for the Kets. And, of course, after that, they put plenty on base. Now 7 hits, 4 of them coming back in the 4th inning. So the count's 3-0 here to A.J. Gracia. They have a chance to put their first 2 batters of this 5th inning aboard. Gracia already 1 for 2. Here's the next one from Bucknam. Right down the middle, a get-me-over fastball, and it makes it 3-1. Gracia, a .305 hitter this past season at Duke. Launched 14 homers. That was a Duke freshman home run record. was later named to the College Baseball Writers Association as a freshman All-American as he launches this one foul, and the count is pushed to 3-2.
Grassi has had 2 hard-hit balls today. As fly out to center field, Jonathan Kim, the center fielder, had to go into a slide to make the grab, and also singled back in the 4th and on just another hard-hit ball.
Ball gets away from the throw of Bucknam up the first base line. It gets to the fencing. Ballou moves up to second. Throw that gets away from Micah Bucknam, and the Kettleers have a man in scoring position. So there was a chance there with the count at 3-2. Of course, no outs in the inning. Unsure if Ballou would have gone with the count full, but he's not going to need to now. They have him on second base with no gone. Outfield going to play straight up, take a few steps back for Gracia. Don't want anything to land behind him. But anything hit into the outfield could score Ballou from second. Bucknam's payoff again. Breaking ball high and wide, ball 4. So Gracia is on his way to first for the second time today. He improves to 1 for 2 with a walk. So Devin Taylor's day is done. He was batting in the 3 spot as the designated hitter, went 0 for 2 with a pair of swinging Ks. And now we'll get our looks at Brooks Bryan, who got the start behind the dish last night for the Kettleers back in Wareham. And he was replaced by Nick Rodriguez later in the ball game. But Bryan was able to reach on a hit by pitch, went 0 for 2 other than that. And a chance here as a left-handed hitter to face the right-handed throwing Micah Bucknam, who has ran into some trouble here again in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch is a big swing and a miss from Bryan, 0-1. Bucknam relieved Sean Youngerman in the 4th inning, so he was already in some trouble, but the bases were empty. Allowed a single to Brandon Compton, and then Tanner Thatch was a pinch hitter for Chris Arroyo. So they put runners on first and second with 1 gone, and now Bucknam in the same situation, but with nobody out. And the count pushed to 1-1. Big lead out there at second for Ballou. So an interesting story for Micah Bucknam, as he hails from Nelson, New Zealand, but as a kid moved from New Zealand to Canada, British Columbia. He's from Abbotsford, British Columbia, and now he's going to get called for a balk. So both runners will move into scoring position. Another mistake by Micah Bucknam. First it was the throw up the first base line. Now it's a balk to give Brooks Bryan a golden opportunity to make this a 5-1 ball game.
And just 2 costly errors for Bucknam there. A pickoff move where Ballou was not even really off the base there, and just the balk. So sloppy. That leads to Cotuit having 2 runners in scoring position.
Bryan falls back to 1-2. Well located breaking ball down low. It's those little mistakes that it seems like teams have been taking advantage of the Kettleers on these past few games. Now a chance for them to give YD a taste of that medicine with runners on second and third. The 1-2 pitch is down low, and a good eye from Brooks Bryan sends the count to 2-2. Well, we learned from Adele Huffman yesterday that Brooks Bryan was nicknamed the RBI King at his school down at Troy. 85 RBIs for the Trojans this past season, where he hit 279 in just under 60 starts. The 2-2 upstairs, another full count faced here by Micah Bucknam. So with first base open, nobody gone. See how competitive this pitch is with the dangerous Sean Keys awaiting on deck. Pitch is outside, ball 4 for Brooks Bryan. Micah Bucknam releasing that pitch with 1 second on the pitch clock. It didn't matter, though, as Bryan will be on his way to first nonetheless, and they'll load the bases here with nobody gone in the bottom of the 5th.
And Joe, you talked about Cotuit pregame really needing to do a better job seeing more pitches, working deeper in accounts, and that's something that we've seen, especially against Bucknam here. 31 pitches, and he's only recorded 2 outs, as 31 pitches, 14 strikes. Cotuit really with patient eyes at the dish, and now they're in a golden spot, bases loaded, and still no outs.
First pitch to Keys is inside, ball one. The Kettleers hit a league best 6 grand slams last season. That led the Cape Cod Baseball League. Sean Keys had one of them. But an opportunity here with nobody out, a deep fly ball would do to bring in at least the 4th run of this ball game. But Keys likely wanted to bring home all of them here. Score at 3-1. Micah Bucknam still working on the mound. Into his 2nd inning of work, but still yet to record it out in this bottom of the 5th. 1-0 is the count to Keys. They'll check back at 3rd, and Ballou's back in diving safely.
YD not afraid to keep an eye on Ballou. Saw the pickoff move that he advanced to 2nd. Now the throw down from Neal. So keeping Ballou honest over there.
Bucknam's 2-0. Keys rolls over at foul. There is an arm warming up in the right field bullpen for YD. And a pitching staff that has been really effective across these first 3 games for the Red Sox. 27 combined strikeouts on opening day between this staff and Brewster's, as Keys flares that one foul straight back, and it's 2-2. So some of that could be credited to weak contact and the adjustment between metal bats and wood bats, but some could call it just great pitching and great scouting by YD's team and Scott Pickler, the longtime manager for the Red Sox, as a nice block there by Brady Neal makes it 3-2.
We've seen a lot of guys come out of the YD bullpen, especially Brian Peck, who went 4 innings and allowed just 2 hits, striking out 7. That was back on opening day in the 2-1 win against Brewster, and gotten a lot of solid pitching contributions.
Payoff pitch to Keys. Popped up on the infield. Aloy is back into shallow center, and he finds it in his left mitt. So a good at-bat worked at the plate by Sean Keys, not the result he was looking for, and that'll bring up Grant J.
And Keys got underneath it there. Had the right idea, trying to hit it up in the air, get it deep into the outfield to score Ballou from 3rd, but just got well underneath it and didn't hit it too far deep.
So now some defensive adjustments for YD as Grant J digs in. 1 for 2 today with a 3-run homer. That was his first hit of the summer. Did that 21 times this past season at DBU. As the first pitch is up and inside, ball 1, 93 on the gun from Bucknam. 21 homers matched his mark as a freshman, too, so he's up to 42 homers across 2 seasons with the Patriots. The 1-0. Outside, and Jay has a hitter's count. So how big is that, especially with these bases loaded, a guy who can swing the bat like Grant J to get ahead 2-0?
This is not the guy that you want to fall behind, especially we know the power. You saw the power last inning, but just a base hit will do with Cotuit. Bases loaded here, get a ball in the outfield, could have a 4-run advantage.
Spoils one foul down the first base line.
It's also paramount because we've seen the struggles of Bucknam, in this inning. Gave up the leadoff single to Ballou and then back-to-back walks. So anytime you could be up in the driver's seat here and have the pitcher reeling out on the mound, you're really sitting pretty in the box.
Bucknam's ready with the 2-1 as it's a broken bat flared into right field. Setting camp under it is Jake Brown. He hauls it in. Charging in from 3rd to score is Max Ballou, and a sacrifice fly off the bat of Grant J makes it a 4-1 ball game.
That was a really quality at-bat from Jay there. Not trying to do too much. Just took what Bucknam gave him and hit it into right field and got extended Cotuit's lead now to 4-1.
And a chance here with 2 outs, and Brandon Compton at the dish, a righty on lefty matchup. Some signs from Brady Neal behind home plate, sending him out to his pitcher Micah Bucknam, teammates at LSU this past season. On the infield, they're going to shift a little bit to the right for the left-handed swinging Brandon Compton, who's 1 for 2. Takes strike 1. He was the first batter that Bucknam faced back in the 4th inning. Notched a single right back up the middle. And that started some trouble for Bucknam, but he was able to work his way out of it with 2 quick outs in response to the next batter who he walked, Tanner Thatch. So they put runners on first and second to follow up the homer from Grant J. And now with 2 gone in this 5th, he pops it up into left center field. Drew Burris is there, and into the shadows he finds out number 3. So the Kettleers will put the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th inning. They bring 1 home on Grant J's sacrifice fly, strand the other 2, and lead it 4-1 as we go to the 6th frame on the Cats Digital Network. Nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
This is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
2 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free comb on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
Top of the 6th inning. Back out on the mound goes Hunter Watkins out of GCU. With the glove shielding his face, he's facing Easton Carmichael, the 3-batter in the YD lineup. Fouls it straight back off the fencing, 0-1. Carmichael will lead things off for the Red Sox, followed by Cade McGee and Drew Burris. Combined, those guys have been able to knock 1 hit. It was an RBI single off the bat of Easton Carmichael back in the 1st inning. Scored the first run of the game for YD. Nothing doing after that. 0-1 pitch is laced on the ground. It gets out of the infield for a base hit. Easton Carmichael improves to 2 for 3.
And Carmichael's such a dangerous hitter in the box. He talked earlier just about all the accolades that he had this past year at Oklahoma, and he's gotten on base twice. And this could be the start of the rally for YD. They find themselves trailing by 3 runs here. You get your leadoff guy on. This could be a big spot.
Leadoff man is aboard. Carmichael a big lead at first. Cade McGee is the batter. Another right-on-right matchup launched into center field. Ballou is back. Leaning over, he makes the grab.
Saw Ballou come in early on that ball. Had to kind of readjust and lean back to catch it. It was on the line from McGee, but a nice play by the center fielder to get allowed out number 1.
Here's Drew Burris, another YD Red Sox who is looking for his first hit of the summer. 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a strikeout. Was the first batter that Hunter Watkins faced. He stands in and takes a ball 1 low. Burris out of Georgia Tech, 58 games for the Yellow Jackets this past season. Has been able to get on base by a couple of walks in the past 2 ball games, but still searching for that first Summer League hit. Evens up the count at 1-1. Has a chance here with the runner on first, Easton Carmichael. Jake Brown is in the on-deck circle, also 0 for 2. He takes up high. They'll check at first. Dave Turco says he didn't go. It's 2-1. Some scores around the league. Hyannis protecting their unbeaten record at 3-0. It's the top of the 3rd right now at McKeon Park. They're up 5-0 on Chatham. Watkins 2-1. Breaking ball that starts above the zone and finishes below it at 70 miles an hour from Watkins, and it's 3-1. Definitely going to want to keep our eyes on that Falmouth game as well. They're hosting Brewster in the bottom of the 2nd right now, a 4-2 lead. The Commodores have. They're looking for their first win. As the next pitch, runner takes off for second. Carmichael will have a stolen bag as it's ball 4 issued to Drew Burris. And YD will have runners on first and second for Jake Brown.
That was a productive at-bat by Burris there, who saw himself drop in the order, was the leadoff hitter for the previous 2 games, now hitting 5th today, but he reaches for the first time, and now Mike Roberts coming out to the mound.
Yeah, it looks like he'll go to the bullpen for the 2nd time in this ball game. YD has runners on first and second with 1 gone. A pitching change from Lowell Park. Kettleers lead at 4-1, and we'll be back in a moment on the Kets Digital Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
9-9. Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis. Operating on Cape Cod.
The Kettleers make a call to their bullpen here in the midst of the top of the 6th inning, leading the game 4-1 over the YD Red Sox. Hunter Watkins' day is done. He pitched into this 6th inning. It was his 3rd inning of work, or it was second start of his 3rd inning of work. He went 2 1/3 of an inning, retired the first 6 batters he faced, but then allowed a single and a walk that ushered him out of this ball game, and that makes way for our first looks at Gabriel Nard, the most recent addition to this Kettleers roster, activated this morning. And what do you have for us on Nard, Alex?
Well, he appeared in 30 games at Duke this past year. He had a 3-2 record with a 2.6 ERA, worked in 45 innings, struck out 34 batters, and allowed just 13 earned runs. And definitely excited to see the debut of Gabriel Nard.
He'll be facing Jake Brown, the LSU outfielder. Righty on lefty matchup to start off Nard's Cotuit debut. Launched into center field. Racing back is Ballou into the shadows. He makes the grab, having to toss it in as both runners trying to advance into scoring position, and they do so beautifully. And there are 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning with Wahiva Aloy stepping up to the dish. So a quality at bat there by Jake Brown, but it sends this inning to 2 outs, and they'll have a chance with 2 outs with runners in scoring position. And Aloy, a chance to cut this lead in half for the Kettleers.
Heads up base running there by Carmichael and Burris there, and now you get a hit by Aloy here, especially with 2 outs, runners going on contact here. Anything that gets in the outfield could score 2 and make it just a 4-3 ball game.
So here's Wahiva Aloy, 0 for 2 today with a pair of flyouts into the outfield. Nard's pitch is on the outer half, strike 1, 82 miles an hour off the gun from Gabriel Nard, who just finished up his 2nd season at Duke, 2.60 ERA and 45 innings pitched. Ties up Aloy, sends it foul, and now he's ahead 0-2. So a big chance here for Gabriel Nard to escape this top of the 6th inning. 2 gone with Cotuit leading 4-1. Here it comes. He chases after it in the dirt. Aloy racing for first, and Jay is going to mishandle the baseball. 1 run will come in and score from third, and it's a 4-2 ball game off of the error by Cotuit's catcher.
And Jay just tried to pick up that ball cleanly off the grass there, just unsuccessful, and heads up base running by Carmichael, who comes home and scores. So it's a 4-2 ball game, and really smart base running here by YD is taking that extra base on the long fly ball from Brown allowed Carmichael to come in and score.
Brady Neal, the batter, he's 1 for 2. Singled back in the 2nd, and then he struck out the 2nd strikeout victim of Hunter Watkins in the 5th inning. He went on to strike out 3 overall and 2 1/3 innings pitched, but that run coming home to score was the one that he put on base to start off this inning. It was an error, though. And the first pitch misses high and wide to Brady Neal, 1-0. So they saw that Cotuit lead in half, a 4-2 ball game now. 5 hits on the board for YD to Cotuit's 7. An error aside for both of these squads, as Nard gets over top and an 89-mile-an-hour fastball is called strike 1. Neal awaits the 1-1 pitch from Nard. Fastball bounced into the dirt. Good block by Jay to keep it in front, and it's 2-1. Neal, a draft pick of the Milwaukee Brewers in 2022, the 17th round. Decided to go on to play for the LSU Tigers, where he played in 44 games this past season, and returned to YD this summer after playing a few games for the Red Sox a year ago, as he fouls that one back, and the count's 2-2 now.
He was really productive for YD last year in just 4 games, 3 for 10, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, really making it happen in a short time span.
That was in return to a back injury that he suffered the previous season at LSU. 2-2 pitch is low and outside, 3-2. So a great way for him to get involved, and despite it being a small sample size, clearly took advantage of it. Nard is a strike away from escaping this inning. The runners are on first and second. The 3-2 pitch is up and inside. He's able to fight it off and continue this AB is Brady Neal.
And Neal took that success from YD and really transferred it to this past season, where he hit .276, 9 home runs, 31 RBIs, and was a key cog in that LSU lineup.
And you mentioned earlier in the broadcast that he's currently in the transfer portal from LSU, so it'll be interesting to see where Neal ends up. Will likely make a big impact on whatever roster he joins. And he continues to stay alive here at 3-2. The 7th pitch of the AB upcoming.
Yeah, I was just about to say, really nice battle brewing here between Nard and Neal.
This is actually going to be the 8th pitch, so the next one will be the 12th thrown by Nard in this short inning. The 3-2. Breaking ball upstairs. He lost him at 3-2. Ball 4. Brady Neal heads to first for the second time today. So he improves to 1 for 2 with a walk, and YD will load the bases in the top of the 6th. Cameron Kim is the batter slotted to bat right here against Nard, but a pinch hitter will replace him. He went 0 for 2 with a looking K and a pop out on the infield. Jackson Chirello will grab a bat and hit out of Kennesaw State. Left-handed swinger to face the right-handed throwing Gabriel Nard. A .290 hitter at Kennesaw State this past season. 169 ABs where he was able to knock 49 hits. 15 of which went for extra bases. First pitch misses low and outside, 1-0. 89 on the gun from Gabriel Nard. It's the 4th batter he faces in relief of Hunter Watkins, who got the first out of this frame. 1 run came around to score, and Nard trying to stop it right there at 1 with the score 4-2. He gets one in the zone on the back door. It's 1-1. 77 that time from Nard. So from behind home plate, the entire left side of the field covered in the shadows. 1-1 pitch is right down the middle, strike 2. So Chirello down 1-2. Already 2 hits so far on the season. Now another chance to escape this frame for Gabriel Nard. He comes set with the 1-2. Reaching out over the plate is Chirello, and he fouls it off. Look out in that Kettleers dugout. Someone relayed that ball to Coach Will Thompson, who we were just talking about. Pass that one off to the bat boy. He's itching to get out to the first base box. A long 6th inning worked by YD. Ball's in the dirt. Jay locates it, and the count pushes to 2-2.
Luckily for Cotuit there, the ball didn't bounce further away as YD had a nice bounce off of third base. It was Drew Burris who thought about coming home, but the ball didn't ricochet off Jay, so lucky break there. Is still remains a 4-2 ball game.
The payoff pitch again to Chirello. Line drive up the middle, charging in Ballou. He's going to let it drop in front of him. 1 run comes in to score. Another one from second will make it a 4-4 ball game. A 2 RBI single from Jackson Chirello in pinch hit fashion knots up this ball game at 4s in the bottom of the 6th.
What an excellent at-bat by Chirello there. Worked it deep against Nard, and once again, not trying to do too much. It just lines it right back in the center field. Ballou thought about going into a dive, but decided to play it on a hop. Always a dangerous play if you go into the dive and don't come up with the ball. You never know. Could have been an inside the Parker there, or at least a bases clearing triple.
Ball gets away from Jay. It goes back to the backstop, and YD has a 5-4 lead. Brady Neal scores from third. Up to second goes Chirello. So things were bad to start off this bottom of the 6th inning for the Kettleers. They have gotten worse as 4 straight runs have come home to score. And it is a 5-4 ball game. The Red Sox now lead it. So they score their first run since the top of the 1st inning. And still have a runner in scoring position with 2 gone. The batter is Phoenix Call, and he takes another one low and away, 2-0. That draws Grant Jay out of the crouch up to talk things over with Gabriel Nard.
That's a smart decision by Jay there. Settled down his pitcher, and Cotuit really was in the driver's seat, had a 4-1 lead heading into this inning, and things have just seemed to fall off the tracks, and now Jay just talking things over, calming down his pitcher, just telling him, get one more out, let's get back into the dugouts, let's have the bats pick you up.
There is a left-hander warming up in the Ketts bullpen. Looks like that could be Mark Hindy out in left field out of William and Mary. Already seen him enter one game so far this season for the Kettleers. You know Mike Roberts doesn't want to have to go to him in this bottom of the 6th, but if Phoenix Call is able to reach base, that would bring up Jonathan Kim, who would be the last batter in this YD lineup to not grab a bat and hit in this inning. As it's a line drive into center field, Ballou has it and makes the grab for out number 3, but not before YD is able to put up 4 runs in the top half of this 6th frame. They lead it 5-4. Kettleers trying to come back after this on the Kettleers Digital Network. For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.com.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
2. Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990. Their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752. Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990. Their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752. Discover.
New pitcher for YD enters the bottom of the 6th inning. He will face the bottom half of the Kettleers lineup, starting off with Tanner Thatch. Pablo Torres is the pitcher, and he is on to make another appearance for YD. Facing the bottom of this Kettleers lineup, Tanner Thatch pinch hit for Chris Arroyo back in the 4th inning. He worked a walk on first, and now digging in for his second plate appearance of the day. Torres already pitching in one game for YD so far this season, went an inning, gave up 3 hits, and earned run. Coming off of a year at Bethune-Cookman, where he went 3-2, 18 appearances, where he had a 3.76 ERA across just over 26 innings. And now a member of the YD coaching staff is tending to Brady Neal, the catcher. Is that the PitchCom that they're using, Alex?
Believe it is. Seen a lot of teams use different methods of PitchCom. Want to get your thoughts about PitchCom. A lot of people have a lot of different opinions about it.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's something that a lot of people probably thought of. And, you know, it makes sense. It's the same way that a quarterback has his offensive coordinator in his ear giving him plays. I think it's pretty much the same.
I agree with you.
1-0.
There's been so much talk about
Yeah.
teams stealing signs from each other and players looking back to see what the catcher is signaling and seeing what pitch is throwing, so it definitely makes it easier and make sure everyone's on the same page.
The 2-0, Thatch gets a hold of it, but lines it foul out of play to the left side. Thatch a walk his first time up. Infield shifted way to the left for him, and he spoils another one foul. there was always just something about catchers being able to give signals to their pitcher and kind of the way that some guys did it. As Thatch rolls one on the ground towards second, the shortstop is going to call off the second baseman, though. He bobbles it once. The throw's still going to be in time. Gets Thatch hustling up that first base line. Asks for another opinion from Dave Turco, the first base ump. It's too late now, as that's the first out of the bottom of the sixth.
Thatch really made that a close play as Aloy bobbled it, trying to pick it up cleanly, and Thatch hustling the entire way, nearly beat it out. It's been a big momentum boost, especially after giving up 4 runs in the top half of the inning. Get your leadoff guy on, but a bang-bang play goes the way of YD.
Next pitch from Torres is the first one to Mutsaritas, right down the middle for strike one. Mutsaritas enters this AB 1 for 2, a single back in the third, and went on the first pitch of Jaron Advincula's at-bat, trying to steal second, but he was nabbed there. 0-1. Bounced in the dirt. Now I think more on that pitch clock conversation, the pitch calm conversation. I don't know how much it's speeding up the game, really.
I don't think it's speeding up the game. I think it's just eliminating the controversy about teams stealing signs from each other.
1-2, the count to Mutsaritas. You know, a lot of people might think that, you know, changes in the baseball world are pretty much solely to make the game faster. The pitch clock can really extend games sometimes, as we saw at the start of this inning, as the next pitch is rolled foul. But I really like that efficient communication, just as mentioned earlier, like the offensive coordinator to the quarterback. It makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, it's a very good analogy. It's one that I don't think I've ever heard that before.
The 1-2 from Torres, 1 gone in the sixth. Mutsaritas takes, shakes his head, says that one's too low, 2-2. Torres, a returner to YD this summer after appearing in just 1 game for the Red Sox last year, pitched in 1 inning. 2-2 pitch is rolled on the ground towards third, but foul. So he gets his third taste of summer ball. He played in the Appy League last year with Elizabethton. Played 10 games there. That's in the Appy League. He held a 1.35 ERA. 13 1/3 innings pitched. Struck out 26. That was good for a 17.6 strikeouts per 9. Torres, the right-hander. Mutsaritas, 2-hopper to short. Aloy up with it throwing, and they have out number 2.
Torres just pitching a contact here, getting back-to-back ground balls, and he was a much more efficient pitcher from his freshman season to his sophomore season. Nearly cut his ERA by 3. It was 6.47 after his freshman year, 3.76 after his sophomore year, and you really saw the strikeout numbers. 33 strikeouts in 26 1/3 innings pitched, and hitters were just hitting 185 against him. Much better than the 265 clip in 2023.
Jaron Advink, everybody will be off tomorrow. Cape Cod Baseball League having its first off day tomorrow, Wednesday. The Kettleers will be back in action on Thursday in Harwich. Advincula's 1 for 2 today, a single and a flyout. The 2-1 is outside, 3 balls, 1 strike.
And it was another perfect day for baseball. Really gotten 4 great days, and sun's continuing to set here at Lowell Park, and it was around 80 degrees first pitch. It was really nice.
Yeah, it's starting to get a lot hotter on the Cape, too. 3-1 pitch is rolled on the ground towards first. First baseman takes a dive for it. Torres has to cover, and it's not in time. Advincula beats it up the first base line. And a diving effort by the newly inserted first baseman. Jackson Chirello was unable to make the play on what looked to be a regular second baseman's ball, as that one was deep in the hole. It forced Torres to have to cover first. And Jaron Advincula has an infield single.
That was just great speed from Advincula there, hustling the entire way and legging out the 2-out single. And now you go back to the top of the order. That's really been productive for Cotuit.
Max Ballou, Advincula takes off. The throw to second is bounced in there. The tag applied. It's in time. What a tag by Wahiva Aloy as he just clips it off of the ground and presses it against the body of Jaron Advincula. And a pretty solid throw from behind the plate by Brady Neal ends the frame with YD leading 5-4. And before we head into the seventh, we'll check in with our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman. What do you have for us, Adele?
Thanks, Joe. I just want to bring up what Alex was talking about a bit earlier. Ben Rice. We found round of the 2021 first-year player draft from Dartmouth College, and prior to the season, Rice was named the Yankees' 2023 Kevin Lawn Award winner as the organization's Position Player of the Year. And Ben played in Cotuit back in 2021, only 3 years ago, and tonight he's playing in the big leagues at first base and batting sixth for the Yankees. Joe, you must be super excited today.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's going to be super exciting to see what Mike Roberts has to say after the game when you ask him about that. The most recent Kettleer to make the big leagues. Not a lot of guys from that 2021 squad as well, so it's great to see more Cotuit players making their way into the major leagues. And being a local guy, he grew up near Boston, but is going to be playing for the rivals, the Yankees, the bad guys, Alex. So it'll be interesting, but I'm sure you're excited as a Yankees fan yourself.
See, I wouldn't say the bad guys in my eyes, but I'm a big Yankee fan, but just to see the progress of Ben Rice, and that's a name that a lot of Yankee fans have been waiting to see called up, and he's been skyrocketing through their farm system, and especially this year you've seen the growth. Playing just 11 games in AAA, the Yankees calling him up out of necessity with Anthony Rizzo going on the IL, fractured his arm. But Ben Rice in 11 games in AAA, hitting .333, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. Saw the power in AA. He blasted 12 home runs in 49 games, but just a super special moment for Rice and his family and the Cotuit Kettleers.
We'll definitely be watching that very closely tonight as the Yankees will play. Who are they playing tonight?
Playing Baltimore.
Nice. So definitely maybe a bit conflicting for Mike Roberts, whose son played for the Baltimore Orioles, and now he gets to watch one of the former players he coached play against that team in the Yankees. So an AL East battle tonight, and hopefully Ben Rice is able to get that first career base knock as well. So the count is 1-1 to the first batter of this seventh inning for YD. The batter is Jonathan Kim. 0 for 3 on the day so far. 2 swinging Ks, reached on a fielder's choice in the first. The 2-1 pitch from Nard is upstairs, 3-1. So shadows completely covering this infield. And Jonathan Kim up for his 4th plate appearance. Already 2 hits this season, both of them coming on opening day. Hasn't had a hit since then. The 3-1. Up high above his shoulders, and he accepts the walk. So a 5-pitch walk issued by Gabriel Nard to start off the 7th inning, and that's exactly how YD led off the 6th with a base runner.
That was a big at-bat for Kim, continuing right where YD left off, where they scored 5 runs, and Mike Roberts heading out to the mound here.
So Nard faces one batter in this top of the 7th inning. And with YD leading things 5-4, we'll get a new pitcher from Lowell Park. YD with a 1-run lead in the midst of the 7th inning. Kettleers looking to get that first out of this top of the 7th when we return on the Ketts Digital Network.
Since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today. When the unexpected...
MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasek, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasek Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board
508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod. Escape the summer heat.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis. Operating.
New pitcher into the game for the Kettleers is Jacob Schaefer, on to make his second appearance of the summer. Pitched on opening day against Harwich. And he is on to make another relief appearance. As Gabriel Nard pitched into the 7th inning, he walked the lone batter he faced, Jonathan Kim, who stands on first. And as we remember from the 6th inning, YD was able to put their leadoff man on, and that's when they rattled off 4 runs to take a 5-4 lead. So a big opportunity here for Schaefer, who struggled his last time out.
You mentioned his struggles the last time he went out, just an inning and a third, 4 hits, allowed 3 runs, all of which earned walk 2 in the 13-2 loss back on opening day. So here's an opportunity for him to get back on the right side of things out on the mound.
Easton Carmichael is the batter. He's been the best and hardest out in this YD order so far today. He is 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. The first pitch he sees is a little flare off the end of his bat that gets over Tanner Thatch. Kim charging around second. He motors into third standing up. And just like that, YD will put runners on the corners with no outs.
Carmichael continues to be a thorn in the kettle. Get him out. 3 singles. Now out, no out. It's a tough spot for Schaefer.
Yeah, Carmichael is now 3 for 4 on the day with an RBI and up to a .417 batting average overall on the season, tied for the team lead in terms of qualified batters. So the first pitch to Cade McGee is low and inside 1-0. 93 on the gun from Jacob Schaefer, who now has to work with runners on the corners and nobody gone. The corners will be pulled in. Tanner Thatch has to look straight into the sun at first base. Here's the 1-0. Half-hearted swing from McGee. 1-1 the count. So this is a position for Schaefer that he didn't encounter across the last 2 years at UNCW. His last 32 appearances for the Seahawks have all been starts, as the 1-1 is a breaking ball that turns in. And a well-located pitch on the front door there draws McGee off guard, and it's 1-2. Little flare just outside of the infield. Avincula giving chase, and it falls in no man's land. Runner from third, Kim, is going to come in and score to make it a 6-4 ball game off of Cade McGee's RBI single.
Cotuit's pitching really was doing a nice job early in this game, but Red Sox bats have heat up. Maybe they found something that Cotuit was doing out on the mound, but the offense is really starting to come alive, and saw it in the 6th, then put multiple base runners on, including a pair of walks, and now back-to-back singles here. Is still no outs.
Schaefer pitching against Drew Burris. Walked his last time up, and he's 0 for 2. Has yet to record a hit so far this season, but is coming off a monster campaign at Georgia Tech this year. The next one from Schaefer is outside, 2-0. So this is more kind of what we saw Jacob Schaefer getting into the last time he was out, starting off these batters with balls falling behind early, having to work his way back into these counts.
Schaefer came on in relief of Cam Hill that day and just struggled to get that last out of the inning, and things just continued to snowball for him after that.
So now with runners on first and second in this top of the 7th inning, 6-4 YD leads it, and the 2-1 pitch. Down low, 3-1 on Drew Burris. So he was able to work a walk his last time up just an inning ago, and is now 1 pitch away from doing just that right here in back-to-back plate appearances. A .381 hitter this past season at Georgia Tech was Burris. The 3-1, low and away. So Burris is on his way to first, and in back-to-back innings, the Red Sox have loaded the bases.
And Joe, you brought up a good point earlier about Schaefer being used primarily as a starter. How big of a transition do you think it is, as we've seen him struggle come out of the bullpen in his 2 appearances, going from being a full-time starter and now in summer ball coming out of the bullpen?
Yeah, I think some guys really prefer to kind of have the attention of being a starting pitcher and being kind of that guy. As a big first pitch swing and a miss gets Jake Brown behind 0-1. He's 0 for 3. But I think it definitely helps that he was here last season, was able to kind of work through some struggles as a relief pitcher and also be very good at times for the Kettleers. One being a outing in late July last summer against Wareham, a 2-inning scoreless performance, as this is laced down the left field line but barely foul. So this is exactly what Schaefer really needs to do, though, is get ahead of these batters. He's ahead 0-2 here on Brown.
That's something that he's struggled to do, really falling behind hitters early, and it's always difficult to work back into the count when you're down 2-0 or down 3-1.
So with the infield in and the bases juiced, Schaefer's 0-2. In off the hands of Brown, it ties him up, and he lifts it towards the home grandstand. It rattles around from the top row all the way down to row 1. And one lucky fan is going to find that one. Little round of applause. Some fans have made their way to the parking lot and the exits, but few remain as Schaefer is able to get the first out of this 7th inning. Gets Jake Brown to chase after a high and away fastball at 95 miles an hour. And there's one gone, and the bases are still loaded for Wahiva Aloy.
That was a much-needed strikeout there for Schaefer. Getting out, still have the force in at any base. Cotuit keeping the infield in, but you also have the opportunity for a double play. So Schaefer getting an out. Let's see if that builds momentum in his confidence.
Still working from the stretch, and the infield will still be in. As the first pitch is popped sky high up on the infield behind home plate, Grant J is going to give chase for a few steps, but he runs out of space. The count is 0-1 on Wahiva Aloy. He reached last time by striking out against Gabriel Nard, but it was a ball that was in the dirt. Grant J couldn't locate it and couldn't get a good grasp on the ball. He was able to advance to first, and then 4 runs came around to score for YD after that. It's now a 6-4 ball game. 0-1. In off the hands of Aloy, 0-2. So this is exactly what Schaefer has really needed to do these last few batters. Get ahead, throwing with that fastball low in the box. Not giving these guys too good of a look to drive a ball. And of course, when you have a guy, a tall right-handed reliever, 6'8", who can throw in the mid to upper 90s, it does just right there. 94 on the gun, down in the zone. He gets Aloy chasing. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jacob Schaefer.
In these last 2 at-bats, you've seen Schaefer attack Brown and Aloy with the fastball. It's a pitch that he has command of right now, and it's resulting in 2 strikeouts. So if it's working, don't switch it up from it. So keep attacking with the fastball.
Brady Neal is 1 for 2. He walked in the 6th. And now Schaefer looking to dial in his 8th straight strike. Here it comes. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. So this time he starts him off with the off-speeder. 86 is still able to get that first pitch strike. Neal a single back in the 2nd. The middle infield will go back, And it's rolled on the ground towards Mutsaritas on the run, sliding and throwing. And it's not in time as it bounces off the glove of Thatch. One run is in, another one comes in to score. They'll check back at second, but he dives in safely, does Drew Burris. And YD makes it an 8-4 ball game.
Heads up base running by Caden McGee just to not stop running and continue. Never know what that play was going to be, and saw the throw. Thatch nearly made the scoop there. Throw, and McGee just running the entire way. Saw Cotuit make a similar play last night. That's how they got their first run of the ball game. It was P.J. Mutsaritas coming around to score on a ground ball that never left the infield. So, taste of the Kettleers' own medicine just one night later.
First pitch breaking ball for strike one on Jackson Chirello, who grabbed a bat and pinch hit for Cameron Kim in the 6th inning, and he launched a 2-out, 2 RBI single to center field that made it a 5-4 game. Now YD leads it 8-4 in the 7th. 0-1 pitch is roped down the right field line. Going to take a hop into the glove of Gracia. Runner coming around to score. Burris easily from second to make it a 9-4 ball game as it's relayed in by Gracia. And YD has a 5-run lead in the 7th inning.
That ball was just flared into right field. Gracia had it for a moment, and that just ricocheted off of his glove down the line, and it allowed just YD to continue to run, and now things are just once again spiraling out of control for the Cats. 8 runs in the last 2 innings.
9-4, the Red Sox lead it. Runners are on second and third for the leadoff man, Phoenix Call, the only batter in the YD lineup who has not hit yet in this inning. So they batted around here in the 7th, and he takes a first pitch ball inside 1-0. 94 on the gun there from Schaefer as Mark Hindy, the lefty, still warms up for the Cats in left field. Here's the 1-0. 2-hopper to short. Mutsaritas up with it on the run for out number 3. So YD will strand 2 runners in scoring position, not before they make it a 9-4 ball game. Kettleers playing from behind once again at Lowell Park as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Stay tuned for Cats Trivia when we return on the Cats Digital Network.
With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100. With 30-plus years of personal injury litigation and insurance negotiation experience, Snow Law Firm is your go-to for wrongful injuries and rightful compensation. Snow Law Firm will secure the maximum amount of compensation available through settlement or trial. Schedule a free case evaluation by calling 508-477-7100.
Treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990. Their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
At Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free comb on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
Hi, this is Sean Keys, third baseman from Bucknell University, and you're listening to the Cotuit Kettleers
On Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags.
Torres is high and away, ball 1. And it's our first edition of Trivia Tuesday on the Cats Digital Network. See the question there on your screen. If you can answer in the chat who the 2015 Kettleer was, who was drafted 3 different times. He was drafted by the Giants in 2014, the Red Sox in 2015, finally by the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2016. Currently pitching in his 6th season out of Arizona's bullpen. Pitched for the Kettleers back in 2015. So if anybody thinks they know the answer, please throw that into our chat. Let us know who you think it is. Max Ballou is the batter for the Kets. The 1-2 is dotted on the outer half for a called strike 3. First strikeout of the day for Torres. And YD starts off this bottom of the 7th inning right in response to putting up a couple of more insurance runs in the top half of this frame. It's 9-4.
And that's exactly how you want to start off this inning. Attacking straight away on Ballou and Torres. A couple of pretty pitches to get him looking.
So here's A.J. Gracia. First pitch is low and away. Gracia 1 for 2, a walk in the 5th, singled and scored in the 4th. The 1-0. Called a strike low and away. Looked a little bit outside there. That call's been being given by the home plate umpire Justin Sims today. Just recently got Max Ballou on a called strike 3. So 1 gone in the bottom of the 7th. The next pitch to Gracia is roped on the ground towards second, and deep in the hole call makes the play for out number 2.
Torres has come on and just really pitched to contact and quieted the Cotuit lineup. Saw him really do some damage in the 4th and 5th inning, getting runners on base, but since then haven't had a runner on base since Brooks Bryan's walk. That came back in the 5th.
And now Brooks Bryan is stepping up for his second plate appearance of the day. He pinch hit for Devin Taylor in the 5th frame. And as you just mentioned, Alex, worked a walk. Takes ball 1 right here, 80 on the gun from Pablo Torres. He takes inside. Bryan played in the Florida Collegiate Summer League last year, played for the Leesburg Lightning. 17 for 61 in 22 games there. 279 hitter, very similar to what he hit at Troy this season, exactly matching that mark at 279. And that was to follow up a 217 year as a freshman, so whatever he figured out down at the Florida Coast League, it worked because he went on to have an incredible year. And now he has worked his second walk of this ball game.
Bryan being disciplined, not expanding the zone there and just taking exactly what Torres is giving, and that's what Cotuit needs. You need runners on base. If they're going to have any chance in coming back when you're trailing by 5, have to get runners on base, and Bryan does that.
So here's Sean Keys. 1 for 3 with a single in the 4th. Couple of pop-outs to go along with it. Bryan a short lead at first. He gets into a big secondary as it's rolled on the ground towards second. Up with it, gunning to first is Call. An easy third out, 4-3 put out to end the bottom of the 7th. So the Kettleers put 1 on base in the 7th inning. They are unable to get a hit. No errors, no runs in the frame for YD. As we move into the top of the 8th, and we'll have an answer for you on Kets Trivia when we return on the Kets Digital Network. 399. Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Matt.
Broadcast Network. Hi, this is Sean Keys, third baseman from Bucknell University, and you're listening to the Cotuit Kettleers Broadcast Network. Hi, this is Sean Keys.
Top of the 8th inning from Lowell Park. Kettleers trailing 9-4. We welcome you back into the Kettleers Digital Network. Joe Pratt, Alex Rocco, Adele Huffman, Cam Christie, and Jimmy Shantulis on the controls as we move into the top of the 8th inning with Mark Hindy headed on to the mound for the Kettleers. And Alex, what really does he need to focus on here just to keep YD at 9 runs? They're already up to 10 hits, or I should say they're up to 10 hits. That has been inflated since a really strong start at the beginning of this game for Anthony Ianson.
I think what Mark Hindy has to do is just keep it simple. Get ahead of hitters and go to the stuff that he has the most control of right now. The key to this game is not allowing this lead to get any bigger. It's already at 5. Come in, limit the damage, and get your bats back up into the batter's box and see if you can find any way to claw back into this contest.
Hindy was used for the Kettleers' win at Orleans 2 nights ago. Cam Schulke was the man to try to earn the save and the win for the Kettleers in the bottom of the 9th inning at Orleans. He was able to get 2 outs but ran into some trouble as Orleans put the tying and what would have been the go-ahead run on base. And so they had to call to the bullpen one more time for Mark Hindy, in which he threw 3 straight strikes en route to the Kettleers' first win of the season. And now a bit of a different scenario here for Hindy in his second time out of the bullpen for the Kettleers. But the first one resulted in a 3-pitch strikeout, all 3 of which swinging Ks. So he will step up and face the top of this YD lineup, starting off with Jonathan Kim, who fans and misses at a first pitch breaking ball low and away, and that's exactly the pitch we saw to end the game against Orleans. Low and outside, away from a left-handed hitter, and he is ahead 0-1. Here's the next one. Breaking ball again on a string, falls in at knee height, 0-2. So other than 2 strikeouts at the plate today for Jonathan Kim, he's been relatively productive. Reached on a fielder's choice and came around to score after stealing a bag in the first. Now he rolls it to Keys, charging in on the infield, and he records the first out of the top of the 8th. So a pretty good day at the plate for Jonathan Kim. 2 runs scored, but he falls back to 0 for 4.
That's the start that you need for Mark Kim, who's had, like you mentioned, Joe, who's had productive at-bats today, just to hit one slowly on the ground, and a nice play by Keys over at third.
Here's Easton Carmichael to face Hindy for the first time. Fastball right down the middle at 93 for strike 1. So he's sticking to his stuff, just as you mentioned, Alex, starting off with a first pitch strike. Really strong breaking ball as well. He goes to it right there at 84 miles an hour, and it's 0-2. So Carmichael steps up, has been the best Red Sox at the plate today for Scott Pickler's 2-1 YD team. He is 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, and RBI. And even on his fly out to center field was able to advance a runner. As the next pitch finds the dirt, it's 1-2. So the Kets started off with Anthony Ianson. He went 3 frames. Hunter Watkins went 2 1/3. Gabriel Nard entered the game after that. Jacob Schaefer finished up the 7th inning in relief of Gabriel Nard. And now Mark Hindy, the 4th reliever we'll see in this game for the Kettleers. 5th total arm used by Mike Roberts. The 2-2 pitch is upcoming to Carmichael. Low and in. The count runs full. So he's really trying to work down in the zone here to Carmichael.
That's a smart move here. We've seen Carmichael really attack early and often against the Cats with 3 singles, so don't give him anything to hit.
And he doesn't get anything to hit here as he flings the bat towards the first base dugout on his way to first with a full count walk. So Hindy unfortunately loses him there with the count full after starting him off 1-2. And now here comes Cade McGee. Hot off of an RBI single his last time up to improve to 1 for 4 on the day. That was his second base knock of the season. Nice grab there from Jay. Gonna have to buckle down now with that runner on first. We've seen a few balls get away from him, and that has caused a lot of YD Red Sox to get into scoring position. And now Hindi gets over the top with
on the back of walks and wild pitches.
flared on the infield, but it'll creep into the trees, and the count is 1-2 now on McGee. Hyannis extended their lead to 10 over Chatham right now in the bottom of the 5th inning. So it looks like they're well on their way to their 4th straight win, representing the only unbeaten ball club in the Cape League. The 1-2 pitch from Hindi finds the dirt. Carmichael is off the bag, but he goes back there as it's 2-2 now. Falmouth leading Brewster at home in the top of the 4th, looking for their first win. 8-4 the Commodores lead it. Harwich with a 4-1 lead against Bourne at home at the end of the 3rd inning. We'll be in Harwich on Thursday afternoon. 2-2 pitch from Hindi. Rolled on the ground towards Keys. Throw to second for 1. Advincula's relay is not released as they just get the easy force there at second. And some noise from the YD dugout, or bullpen it looks like, down that right field line. They thought Carmichael was able to beat out that throw at second. So a fielder's choice puts Cade McGee on first, and there's 2 gone for Drew Burris. Wareham looking to continue their strong play against Orleans tonight. They lead at 5-0 in the top of the 6th. Orleans got their first win of the 24 campaign against Falmouth last night. They were 0-2. Grabbed a run in the bottom of the 2nd inning, did Orleans, and that was enough to win it. They won the game 1-0.
Good old-fashioned pitcher's duel there.
Yeah. A Big Ten game.
Honestly, Big Ten baseball, Big Ten football, pretty much low-scoring affair.
Hindi checks at first. Carmichael dives in. So do you prefer a pitcher's duel or a blowout? Or I guess both are pretty good.
You know, both offer different things,
Yeah.
but I feel like it depends. I'm more of the fashion blowout. I'm a big offense guy. The more runs, the better. Of course, if your team is on the winning end of it, of course,
Yep.
sitting through a blowout's really rough.
Fly ball left field side. Keys racing after it in foul ground, and he makes the play. A basket catch on the run for Sean Keys, and a nice play made by the hot corner infielder for the Kettleers to end the top of the 8th inning. YD will strand 1, and a 9-4 ball game. We head to the bottom of the 8th on the Cats Digital Network.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
Since 1995, MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing top quality service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 508-420-3429 or at 60 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating, proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Grant J will lead things off for the Kettleers in the bottom of the 8th inning. YD leading 9-4. So more on that Trivia Tuesday that we brought up at the start of last inning. 2015 Kettleer drafted by 3 different ball clubs. The Giants in 14, then the Red Sox, as the first pitch from Jay is roped down the left field line, nearly his second home run of the day. But it is pulled into foul territory. 0-1 the count on him. And then this reliever for Arizona was drafted by the D-backs in 2016, so he's in his made a name for himself pitching in the World Series last year against
Texas Rangers.
Yeah, Texas Rangers, that's right. Drew a blank there. Pitch bounced in there, 2-1 on Grant J. It's Kevin Ginkel. There's our first answer for Trivia Tuesday. Played for the Kettleers back in 2015. Really strong reliever out of the bullpen for the D-backs. And the 2-1 pitch to Grant J is upstairs.
Ginkel had a 2.48 ERA last year. I think 3.18 this year. 5-1 record. Really thriving out of that D-backs bullpen.
3-1. And Grant J will accept ball 4. Really strong day at the plate for the DBU catcher, as he reaches for the second time but has been productive in each of his 3 at-bats after striking out looking in the second inning. A home run, a sacrifice fly, and now a walk. But the issue for the Kettleers today is that those 4 runs on the board are all because of Grant J. So not too much production from the rest of this lineup. Brandon Compton takes ball 1 outside. Compton's 1 for 3. Strikeout, single, and a flyout. As the next one misses low and outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Middle infield playing closer to the bag at second, looking to turn 2 here. Neither team has been able to complete a play like that today. 2-0 pitch from Pablo Torres as he shakes his head up and down once and twice. It's lifted into right center field. This ball is crushed. Going back on it, Jake Brown, and that ball is gone. A 2-run home run for Brandon Compton, and the Kettleers make it a 9-6 ball game, down 3 in the bottom of the 8th inning.
That ball was belted by Brandon Compton right in the right center field gap, and seeing the power between Grant J, Brandon Compton there, and those are at-bats that Cotuit's going to need. Grant J not expanding the zone, getting on with a walk. Compton flashing the power there, and now you're going to need guys like Tanner Thatch and the bottom of the order between Mutsaritas and Advincula to really step up and cut into this deficit even more.
Tanner Thatch takes strike 1 on the breaking ball. One arm warming up in the YD bullpen in right field. Pitch is upstairs. So now that it's a 9-6 ball game, whoever that reliever may be, if he's coming in during the bottom of the 9th inning, it could be a save situation. 1-1 pitch is way outside. Nice grab by Brady Neal. It's 2-1. Fouled back. Tanner Thatch sends the count to 2-2. 102 miles an hour off the bat of Brandon Compton, 415 feet to right center.
That was scorched off the bat. Just a missile from Compton.
14 homers this year at ASU. Count full to Tanner Thatch. Infield pulled to the pull side. Here's the payoff. Thatch rolls it over in foul ground. So since being inserted back in the fourth inning, he's 0 for 1, a ground out to short, but that was really a ground ball to second, fielded by the shortstop. That's how exaggerated this shift is. And then a pinch hit walk back in the fourth. The 3-2 again. And Thatch accepts his second walk of the ball game. So that's exactly what the Kettleers needed here in the bottom of the eighth. The leadoff walk, the homer, and now another walk issued to Tanner Thatch.
I believe it's Caleb Anderson warming up as they get a trip to the mound.
Scott Pickler was thinking about it, and now he is going to go make the change to the bullpen for Caleb Anderson out of Wichita State. So the Kettleers put the first three batters aboard, one of which was a home run, a two-run blast by Brandon Compton over 400 feet. And the Kettleers have something brewing here in the bottom of the eighth inning, down 9-6 on the Ketts Digital Network. We'll be back in a moment with a new pitcher from Lowell Park. 9-9. Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes, making your events delicious and memorable. Founded by Jake O'Rourke, Jake's Clam Bakes has become a beloved tradition, now carried on by his son, Dan. Choose from our menu options, and on the day of your clam bake, their crew will come to your site and steam a fresh, mouth-watering clam bake just for you. It's that easy. Call us at 833-252-6285 or visit our new takeout location at Building 6 on 3821 Route 28 in Marston's Mills. Email us at dan@jakesclambakes.com with your event details, number of guests, date, time, location, and any special requests like a raw bar, homemade desserts, or kids menu. Not catering? Try their takeout menu featuring lobster rolls, smash burgers, salads, sandwiches, and a smoothie bar. Jake's Clam Bakes, making Cape Cod gatherings unforgettable.
Treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990. Their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
New pitcher in for YD in the bottom of the eighth. He'll face P.J. Moutsouridis with nobody gone. It's Caleb Anderson out of Wichita State, had a 7.62 ERA this past season. And he'll be facing P.J. Moutsouridis, who's 1 for 3 today. Single in his first AB. It was the first on the board for the Ketts. They're now up to 9 base knocks tonight. Down 9-6. Here's the first pitch to Moutsouridis. Turning breaking ball in there low and outside at 76 miles an hour. 0-1. So Anderson enters the game as the third bullpen arm used by Scott Pickler, fourth arm used total after Sean Youngerman started this ball game and went 3 1/3. Hard hit ball down the left field line and foul. Just past the camera well at the end of that Kettleers dugout. Hope everyone's okay. That's Dennis, the photographer, down there again. So that is back-to-back games where Dennis has almost been struck by a foul ball.
Might have a target on him.
He might have a magnet in his camera. Great pictures as always, though, from Dennis. Got to see a few from last night's game, too. 0-2 pitch to Mutsaritas is low and outside, 1-2. As the skies are darkening above Lowell Park, sun setting above the left field corner. And the 1-2 to Mutsaritas with Tanner Thatch taking a lead at first. A long wait from Anderson here as it's dribbled back to the mound. The throw is high, taken by Call, and the relay to first is not in time. So nearly a dangerous throw there by Caleb Anderson. But a nice job by his second baseman, Phoenix Call, to bail him out. They get the force out at second. Mutsaritas safe at first, and there's one gone in the bottom of the eighth.
Thatch went in hard, sliding him, and Call got tied up at second. Both players are okay, but that high throw from Anderson allowed Mutsaritas to beat out the throw and not ground into a double play.
Jaron Advincula, the batter, takes a ball low in the dirt, 81 miles an hour. He's 2 for 3. A pair of singles, both pulled to the right side, and that's why we'll have a big shift on the infield. The third baseman, Cade McGee, would likely be closer towards second base. But, of course, the bunt threat is on with one out in the inning. The ball gets away from the catcher, Neal. Mutsaritas moves up to second, takes a big turn there, but will retreat back to the bag. And so the Kettleers will put another runner in scoring position with one gone.
That was big because now that eliminates a chance for a double play here. So Cats have a runner in scoring position with one out. Big at bat for Advincula, who's 2 for 3.
Chance to drive in his teammate P.J. Mutsaritas at second. Facing Caleb Anderson as the second batter he will face. And the 2-0. Bounced up there. A nice block by Neal, who sends a back foot toss to second. Interesting back pick that time.
Dangerous throw,
yeah,
especially if he throws it away. Have Mutsaritas taking off for third. Have to have a lot of trust in your arm to make a throw like that.
And to throw it around the back of Jaron Advincula, too. Not an easy play. So Advincula ahead in the count, 3 balls, no strikes. Caleb Anderson trying to work his way back into this AB. Here comes the next one. Bounced in the dirt again, and Advincula is on his way to first for the third time today. And that'll bring the tying run up to the plate in Max Ballou. Ballou is 1 for 4, strikeout looking in the 7th. A single and a run scored in the 5th. Runners are on first and second for him, facing Caleb Anderson. The right-hander deals a first pitch fastball low and away, 1-0. So Ballou, a really strong campaign at Texas this past season. It wasn't a great start to the year, though, for the left-handed swinging outfielder. Started off the year 0 for 11. Next pitch is down low, but called a strike 1. Was able to follow that up and break that dry spell with his first collegiate home run against Cal Poly. That ended the 0 for 11 streak. Was able to go 15 for 34 in the following 10 games after that first home run. So really the floodgates opened up after he got that tripper, as the 1-1 pitch is inside, called a strike 2.
And Anderson, after throwing 5 consecutive balls, has pounded the strike zone, getting ahead on Ballou, 1-2.
Behind in the count with runners on first and second, Caleb Anderson on the mound facing Max Ballou. 2-time Big 12 Player of the Week this past season. And a really streaky guy, it seemed like. Had a home run in each of a 3-game set against Texas Tech early in March. Dominated that entire series, going 7 for 14 with 7 RBIs. The 1 and 2 is in the dirt. That earned him co-Big 12 Player of the Week honors. And then after that went hitless in the next 5 games. So a bit of a cold spell after winning the honors, and then went on to win Big 12 Player of the Week again in late March. So a really good response for Max Ballou there. And he was able to tie a program record by hitting 3 homers in a game. It was the Sunday series finale against Baylor. 2 solo shots and then a grand slam in the 8th inning, as the 2-2 pitch is shot down the left field line, twisting foul. And that was a series where Ballou actually struggled out of the gates. He went 0 for 4 in game 1, followed up in games 2 and 3 to go 3 for 6. And now that is going to be the day for Caleb Anderson, who has really struggled to get through the bottom part of this Kettleers order, and then all the way up into the top half with Max Ballou right now. And so with a 2-2 count, Scott Pickler will decide to go to his bullpen with runners on first and second. A 9-6 ball game from Lowell Park. More in the bottom of the 8th inning when we return on the Cats Digital Network. Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free cone on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cave.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-93.net. For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Back from Lowell Park in the bottom of the 8th inning, Kettleers trailing 9-6. We welcome you back into the Cats Digital Network. Joe Pratt, Alex Rocco, and now Jimmy Middleton are with you. How's everything been today, Jimmy?
You know, Joe, it's been good today. Doing a little bit of scorebook down at the bottom, down by the media table. Also took a little journey out to the bullpen, but hopefully Max Ballou here can get this game going a little bit, bring these homers run on first and second here.
A journey to the bullpen?
Yeah, a journey to the bullpen.
Nice.
A long walk.
Stretch your legs, collect your thoughts.
Yep. Joe, we're creeping into a game called the darkness territory here, something that we're all too familiar with.
Yeah, we definitely are. Another pitching change doesn't help that. As a 2-2 count to Max Ballou, welcomes in the new arm to this game, Trevor Moore. It ties up Ballou on the first pitch he sees, and the count remains 2-2. I've had a few games been called due to darkness these past couple years. Definitely not this early in the season, though.
Definitely not this early. Some you see more towards the later half of the year.
Yeah, mid-July. 2-2. Called strike 3. Perfect pitch. Had it on a string. The breaking ball did Trevor Moore. And he picks up the first strikeout of this 8th inning. 2 gone for A.J. Gracia.
That was a big strikeout for Moore. Really fooled Ballou on the breaking ball and pulled the string on him.
Now, Joe and Alex here, if I were a betting man, now I'm not at all, I'm thinking A.J. Gracia is going to go deep here over the right field wall.
Well, he did it a lot this year at Duke, set the freshman home run record. The first pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. What makes you say that?
You know, righty-lefty matchup, this Cotuit lineup is a lineup that is heavily stacked with lefties that we have seen over these first 3 games, but I think it's just his spot right here. No, just a gut feeling.
1-0 pitch. Gracia waits for the breaking ball to fall in at chest height, and it's 2-0. He's going up against Trevor Moore, who had a 6 ERA this past season at Stanford, went 3-1 in 28 appearances. 57 innings pitched where he allowed 43 runs. 38 of them were earned, though. 57 Ks evened up with that 57 innings pitched. The 2-0 to Gracia is a fastball launched high and foul down the left field line, out of play.
He's on it. That's a really good swing out of Gracia there, you know. Just missing that fastball a little bit. He's on the right track to maybe depositing one over the wall. I'll take a gap hit, though, here. Right center gap. Just something to bring home these runners.
It's continuing to get darker and darker here at Lowell Park, too. Interesting to see if that'll play a factor as Gracia is on it again, but fouls it straight back into the parking lot.
Now, Joe and Alex, I don't know if it's been going on the whole game, but standing right here, you can see the shortstop is giving signs to the pitcher for pickoff moves or how many looks he's given. So maybe that also plays into the darkness card that YD has right now a little bit as well.
Pitch clock creeping down below 10 seconds for Trevor Moore. The 2-2 for Gracia is lifted high on the infield and foul ground, and it will twist out of play into the parking lot once more.
Fan nearly made a catch on the pop-up. Got underneath it, but it just fell. Brought a couple of jeers from
maybe it was a little bit too dark.
It could have been could have lost it. Couldn't have seen it coming down.
Gracia has worked a really solid at-bat here against Trevor Moore. This will be the 6th pitch upcoming. This is everything, goes back to the backstop, and both runners will advance into scoring position. So we've seen plenty of that today as well. A lot of balls that get by these catchers and get back to the backstop, allowing a couple of more base runners to move up.
Now, Joe, in our 3 years here, we've been to basically every field. It feels like Lowell Park has to be one of the biggest backstops in the Cape League, or at least up there. I'd say maybe top 3 for how big of a backstop it is.
Breaking ball was down in the dirt. Caught fishing was Gracia. And the Kettleers will strand 2 in scoring position. So we send things to the top of the 9th inning. A 9-6 ball game from Lowell Park. And we'll be back in a moment on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2752. Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills. Back from Lowell Park in a 9-6 ball game after 8 innings, and that's where it's going to end as the Kettleers have had this game called due to darkness, with YD winning it 9-6 after 8 innings of play. As you can see right now, Mike Roberts to the left of home plate talking things to our umpiring crew as soon as that decision was made and he was told that the game would be called. He said no way to the umpiring crew, clearly not happy with the call, but the skies have continued to darken above Lowell Park here, Alex, and 8:11 local time likely means that they probably would not be able to complete. You know, you probably are able to complete the top of this 9th inning, but the Kettleers still need to bat, so that wouldn't make sense to continue this frame. And they likely would not be able to complete that bottom of the 9th inning. As Mike Roberts and the umpiring crew continue to talk right there, both teams wait to shake hands, but Alex, this is just not the way that the Kettleers wanted to end their second home game of the season.
And Mike Roberts continues to argue and looks visibly frustrated with their ruling to end the game, and still is going back and forth and is very animated, but definitely not the way that Cotuit wanted to end this game. They had a 4-1 lead in the middle of this inning, and then just 2 costly innings, the 6th and the 7th, where they gave up 4 in each, so 8 runs in 2 innings, where the bullpen, we talked about it pregame, was really solid heading into this game, got a lot of great contributions up and down their bullpen, but just today, it faltered.
Yeah, it did. 4 runs in the top of the 6th, 4 runs in the top of the 7th for YD. And the Kettleers are handed their 3rd loss of the season, 2nd loss at home. And just a not ideal way for Mike Roberts and his guys to finish up their second home game in front of their home crowd. But you could also look at it on the other side and say that the offense maybe should have been a bit more productive earlier on in the game to take advantage of moments that they had, which they did have some moments where they had guys on base and were just unable to bring them around to score.
And outside of Grant Jay and Brandon Compton, there really wasn't much contribution for Cotuit's lineup. Jay had 4 RBIs, Compton hit the 2-run home run, so those two combined for all of the runs driven in for the Kets today. And just looking up and down the lineup, the top of the lineup really struggled. Max Ballou, AJ Gracia combined 2 for 9, and you need contributions up and down your lineup to win. Cotuit left a lot of guys on base, and while the offensive production was there, they scored 6 runs, matching their total coming into this game. It still wasn't enough today.
No, absolutely not, because YD, their bats were able to really get things going. Another struggling offense on the other side for them, who entered this game with a 185 team average, amongst the bottom of the league with Cotuit in that category. But they were clearly the better offense tonight. So what do the Kettleers need to do to maybe be able to get some more offense going without relying on the long ball?
Well, I think the Cats need to continue to work deep in accounts and just try and put better at-bats together. You're seeing guys see a lot of pitches, and that's something they did early on in the ball game where they're getting guys on base. But also, it's good to get guys on base, but it's better to drive them in, and you're just lacking that clutch gene. Of course, you got a big hit from Grant Jay, you got a big hit from Brandon Compton, but you can't just have 2 big hits in a game and expect to win a ball game. But also defensively, YD, they scored 10 runs. Only 6 were earned today. Cotuit with 3 errors defensively and just sloppy play from Cotuit defensively, and that's something that they need to clean up, as anytime you're giving a team 4 extra runs, it's virtually impossible to come away with the victory.
Yeah, and we talked about it early on in the broadcast, saying how in that top of the 6th inning for YD, that really changed the ball game, in which they put runners on each base. They loaded up the bases for the new pitcher, it was Gabriel Nard at the time, and he was able to get what looked to be the crucial 3rd out of that inning with the bases loaded. It was a drop 3rd strike, an error made by the catcher Grant Jay, and that eventually led to 4 runs coming around to score in the top of the 6th inning for YD, and that ended up being the difference in this ball game. And those blow-up innings, clearly not something that you're going to want to continue to see if you're a Cats fan.
That's exactly right. You need to limit the damage, and it was just the relievers, like we had talked about, have been so solid. Gabriel Nard making his Cats debut allowed 3 earned, and Jacob Schaefer, he also allowed 3 earned runs, and just continuing to struggle where the offense finally you get production from it in moments. it's the bullpen that falters. So Cotuit is yet to play a complete game of baseball where all facets of their game are going on strong. Hopefully they can do that in game number 5.
So the Kettleers fall back to 1-3-0 on the season. YD improves to 3-1-0 on the season, climbing the rankings of the Eastern Division. So that's going to do it for our coverage today of YD at Cotuit, with the Kettleers falling 9-6. Appreciate you joining us during the Kettleers Digital Network's coverage of Game 4 of the Cape Cod Baseball League season. For our entire crew, production guys, Jimmy Shantulis, Cam Christie, for our sideline reporter, Adele Huffman, for myself, Joe Pratt, and Alex Rocco, thank you for spending a little bit of your Tuesday afternoon with us. Be sure to stay tuned for Adele Huffman's post-game interview with Mike Roberts. That'll be uploaded to our Kettleers YouTube channel right after the game. So we'll see you on Thursday afternoon from Harwich. And have a good night, everybody.